live. Hello, hello. Okay, this is called Shout Hooray Take 2. So, I was supposed to be on this morning, but I'm dealing with an adolescent puppy dog. I was thinking, wow, she's pretty easy. She has been a handful. So, if you know me, we have a puppy, an Australian Shepherd, and her name is Poppy, and she is 6.5 months. Well, she has been a handful, and she's been somewhat destructive, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it going this morning. So I said, forget it, and I just hung out with the dogs. But hi, Lila. How are you? I'm going to cut and paste this, the link for this right now into Facebook. So if anyone is trying to watch it on Facebook, give me just a second. Let me do that. My IT guy isn't here. It's just me. No IT guy. YouTube. Let me cut and paste this. Facebook. Here's the YouTube feed. Kimberbell's Shout. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Is it time? We've got 1 more minute. Hey, Michelle. I know, I'm glad I was able to make it too. Hi, Miss Shelley. Sunella. Well, you know what? If you can't do it with us, that's the great thing about the live feeds is they're recorded. So you can just do them anytime and you can just pretend that you're doing it live and yeah. And that makes it nice and easy. So what we're going to start out with and what we're doing today is I'm still working on a camera solution for myself. We thought we were going to switch to, what is it called? It's called Miko's, but we've been just reading about stuff and it says that it's a little bit glitchy. So I think we're going to hold off a little bit longer. So this is the project that we're going to be working on. There is a fabric kit, an embellishment kit, and the embroidery design. And, of course, the quilting designs you get directly from Kimberbell. So I went ahead and I didn't realize that my spreadsheet was so incomplete. And when I was reading it, I was like, wait a minute. That's for Life is Better in Full Bloom. So I kind of had a mishmash of Shout Hooray and Life is Better in Full Bloom. And then I went and tweaked a couple of things. So this may or may not be as it's going to stay. I might have to make some changes to it. So just bear with me on that. But I think it looks okay right now. We'll see how we do. This is the thread. And I do have 2 people who are waiting for their whole kit because the thread kits, I was just waiting for those. They were kind of like en route. So I should be getting those out to you, I think tomorrow. They're supposed to be here. So these are the threads. These are the recommended colors. And, of course, you can add to them. I mean, I'm really excited to use some of these. Like, I've never used their peach, which I think is so beautiful. And their caramel. So, and this, like cranberry. I've never used their cranberry before. So I'm excited. I kind of add to my collection. So if you have a lot of the glide thread and you just want to add colors here or there, just send me a note and let me know what colors you want and I'll get them for you. I order, just keep in mind, we don't keep glide in the store, but I probably order from them 2 or 3 times a month. So as long as you're not in a hurry, I can get those colors for you. So we are going to start out with the 9 patch, and we're going to do the 9 patch. I put it in my on my screen. I was playing around with it, and we're going to do it in the 6x10. I put this sheet up on the Facebook group, and then I took it down, and then I made changes, put it back up, took it down, made some changes, put it back up, and took it down again. So just make sure that you don't, if you have like an older version of this, that you go ahead and you get this one instead, because this is going to be more complete with some more information on how to prep and how, you know, what we're going to be doing in hoop sizes and all of that. So we're going to be doing 9 patch, and the 9 patch, how it works is we are going to be stitching these out. We're going to be piecing these in the hoop individually. I'm going to be putting 5 of them at a time in my 6x10 hoop. And actually, I'm going to be putting 6. It fits 6. So in my next hooping, then I'll put 4, and there'll be a little room at the bottom of the hoop that we're going to put a filler block. It'll make more sense as we do it. Your fabric, that was one of the things that I changed as I was prepping, is supposed to be stabilized. So you should have your diamond fabric stabilized and your filler blocks. Your diamond fabric those are going to be the fabrics that are the diamonds inside of these blocks, and these are going to be your filler blocks. Those should be all stabilized with Shape Flex, iron fusible to the wrong side of the diamond fabric, and filler blocks. So this is everything that you should have. You're going to be doing 2 of these. So we're going to be doing 2 of these. If you look at our picture, there's going to be one that goes here and one that goes right here. So there's going to be 2. So let's go ahead. I looked at it and I was like, oh, could we fit a whole bunch of them in the 8x12? Should we use that? Should we do the 6x10? What should we use? And so I figured that the 6x10, once I played around with it, was going to be the best option. So I'm going to slide this on. If you see that, that's from May's Cuties that I still haven't finished. I have like 4 or 5 projects right now that are not finished. So I'm hoping that when I get back from, I wish I could take an embroidery machine with me. Wouldn't that be amazing if I could take it on the plane? But it's just too much because, of course, I'd want to bring my luminaire. You know, once you get used to that, you feel like, how can I work on anything else? So I'm going to go ahead and put my thread over here on the side so I can grab it easily. I have a white pre-wash bobbin in. I have a, what do I have in for a needle? I have a 7511 anti-glue, Madeira anti-glue needle. I'm going to start fresh, so I'm going to clear my screen. If you hit your home button, that's going to clear your screen, and now you can start fresh. So I'm going to go here and to my USB, and we are doing Shout Hooray. I thought about it, like, is there any way we could piece this in the hoop and do it where everything can happen at once, all at once? And no, it is not possible. So let's go into blocks. We're going to do these. These are your little diamond blocks. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put 6 of them in this hooping. You need a total of 10. So we're going to do 4 in our next hooping. We're going to go edit, and this just makes a copy. So I'm going to take this and just drag it up here in the upper right hand corner. We're going to make a copy. And we'll play with our placement later. As you load them, that's the order in which they're going to stitch. Keep that in mind too. So if you go and you put them like out of order, that's because of how you loaded them. All right, I'm going to take this, and you want to choose your hoop size. I already did that because I was playing around with it. Just go in here to your frame size, and I'm doing the 6 1/4 by 10 1/4. If you don't have that hoop size, play with your other ones. You could do it in your 9.5 by 9.5 and fit like you could probably fit 9 of them, and then you'd have to do one more hooping. I use my finger just to drag it to the general area, and then I'll go to my move keys and I'll use that for precise placement. And you want to have this outline up so you know how much space that you have to use. Where are you traveling to? Violet is competing. I'm going to her dress rehearsal tonight, but she's competing in the National We the People competition, and it's going to be in DC. I'm so excited. I haven't been to DC since they were little. I think I took them for a spring break one year. But we're going to do things like go to the monuments, which I haven't done since I was in middle school. Like my, I'm not going to move them super, super close together because you're going to have fabric overlapping. So let me move it down a little bit. Yeah, that was my middle school trip. We went to DC and did all the monuments, but I haven't been back since, so I'm super excited to go, and it's always nice to be able to spend time with the kids. So I'm leaving. Whoops. So if you hit that center, it's going to center whatever design you have. Oh, shoot. Okay, let me pay more attention. And you know it's fun, like, traveling with the kids at this age. Should I just, you know what? I'm gonna space these out just so they're not on top of each other. I'll know with my next tubing. I'll know with my next tubing if I overshot it, and if I have, see, now I can just go center, so I know that center, slide it to the side. Center, and then slide it to this side. Okay. You can color group as long as your designs are not overlapping. So when you have a quilting design and then you put, like, for instance, we're going to do cake next. When you have the cake quilting design and then you put the cake design on top of it, you're overlapping. You're laying your designs. You cannot color group. But with this, nothing's touching, and it doesn't count. Like, the black box doesn't count. What counts is the red box around it. So if you have a little design that's in a circle, but there's a red box around it, and that corner of that red box touches the corner of another red box, that's not going to work. So we know right here, my red boxes around all of these aren't touching. We can go ahead and color group. I'm going to touch OK. And we're done on this screen. This is your main edit screen. We're going to touch the word embroidery. And we are going to go layout, and that's where we color group. So right now you can see in the progress bar, everything is broken down individually 6 times. But when I hit my color group button, look how much better that is. It's going to do all my placements. It's going to do my templates. It's going to do that all at once. A lot of times I will do this on my, I'll do it on my, whatchamacallit, no-show. I'm just going to do it on the mesh. I was like, forget it. Let's just do it on the mesh. It's going to be nice and soft. Let's grab our instruction book. When you piece in the hoop, most of the time color is not going to make a difference, and I think that's the case for all of this. So let's just pick a color that's light, but that you can see. I'm going to go with my, let's just go light gray. Light gray. This is new to me. I did not have light gray in my collection. I just bought it for this project. And first thing it wants you to do, it says, load the embroidery file into the machine, stitch the piecing template directly on the stabilizer. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to stitch out the piecing template. It is going to stitch out that piecing template 6 times. And I was talking with, I think it was Deanna, and she was telling me she watched a sew along, and they took their thread out. So then it didn't get bulky, but I kind of want that thread there so I can see everything. So this is going to stitch all of that. That is going to be, I don't know how many minutes of stitching because I'm not on that screen. But just go ahead and let it stitch. I was working yesterday on Cuties kits. And I have to show you December. It's so cute. I think we're almost done. We are waiting for one fabric. And I can't remember which kit it goes to. I think it might be like September. We're waiting for one fabric and 3 bolts of that one fabric. So that's what's holding everything up. But here is December. Is this so cute? It's going to be adorable. So this is the December table topper. I mean, you get you get a whole roll of the red glitter. And the fabrics are just really, really, really cute. I love this new polka dot fabric. I have, I think we cut 48 kits to start us off with, and I think I'm at 44 committed. So if you want a kit, make sure you order it now, because then we're gonna have to cut the next grouping. I think we're gonna go 48, then we'll cut 24 for our next grouping. I'm excited for these. If you pre-ordered, I'm going to ship your fabric kit with your book. If you didn't get the book, then as soon as the fabrics are done, I'm going to just send those out. Lynn, I think we're going to have an amazing time. Plus, I love high schoolers. I love this age. I love this age because my kids are not out staying out all night and drinking and making bad choices. I think if they were, I'd be really stressed out and ready for them to go. But they're really, really good kids and really easy kids. Okay, let me grab my fabric. So you're going to be placing the center first. So the center fabric's going to go first, and they're all going to get done, so it really doesn't matter which ones you choose. The December kit is cute. The other ones are really cute too. Here are your centers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those. I'm just going to grab all of it. I use my Stripology ruler to cut most of this kit, and you'll see I haven't posted the prep just because there was some splicing and dicing that I needed to do. So, but the Stripology, I used the regular size one for most of it, and it was so amazing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab these and give them a shot of spray. I know they tape, but I'm just going to grab 6 of these and my spray tin. So I'm just going to grab these 6. This is my spray tent. It's made by Dime, and it's collapsible. So it turns into this little itty bitty. I need to make my screen a little, there we go. Okay, it turns really itty bitty. This is the spray that I use. It's KK Ganold 100, and I love both of these, and we carry both of these in the store, and you can change this out at any time. As you can see, I keep forgetting, but at some point I will remember, and I'll change it out. I'll be like, before we get started. So I'm going to take these, and whoop, I'm going to put these in here and give them a little shot of spray to the back. None of the other stuff I think is going to get sprayed. Maybe I'll get to use my handy dandy clapper that Miss Lynn sent. I think it was Mike Claire. I saw that he got them too. Okay, you don't need a ton of spray. The spray tin is nice because it kind of keeps the spray in there. And let's read our directions and make sure I'm not leading you astray. So it says, stitch the trimming placement line, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So we're going to put down our first piece, place diamond fabric right side up. So we're going to go right side up. You're going to cover the whole thing. We're going to see how this overlaps. And if we're going to have to be flipping and folding stuff out of the way. We'll start with this. And let's see where the first one goes. So it says, oh, we got to do the ones on the bottom too. I love Halloween. Oh, the Halloween one? Oh my God, wait till you see that kit. That kit is so cute. Okay, first thing it's going to do is it's going to do, so what we just did is we did the template. Now we're laying this down, and it's going to do a placement trim stitch in the upper right hand corner on each of these. So maybe I'll just pull that out of the way a little bit, and just keep your finger on your start stop just to make sure it's not stitching where it's not supposed to be stitching. So here's my little thumb right there. It's really big. I'm going to pull that back just a little bit so it doesn't get stitched down. Oh, you know what? This isn't stitching in the order that I laid it down because I definitely did that one in the top right. Let's see. It's probably going to come down. Let's see if this one's next. Hi. I left the door open to my sewing room, so I might have some visitors coming in and out. Yesterday, Violet and I ran to the grocery store, and there are times when, let me get him out of the way. There's times when Momo will go to the door with you, and he's like, I am going with you, whether you like it or not. So watch that fabric underneath, make sure that doesn't get sewn down either. And that's how he was yesterday. He was like, I'm coming with you, and we just left Poppy because she's been so bad. You know what, Renata? I'm celebrating that I made the sew along because I didn't know if I was going to make it. It was just one of those mornings. Okay, that is number 1, your trim line, and it's also the placement line. So it says stitch it, and now you're going to trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So we're going to trim whatever's to the right of that. I'm going to use my double curve scissors. And guess what? I just got shipping confirmation on my 6-inch double curve. So if you had ordered those and you've been waiting, I ordered those back in October. I actually took them off the website. That's a little too close, but see how close you can get? So don't be so aggressive. I guess I was being a little bit too aggressive. That's how good these scissors are at getting next to that stitch line. And isn't this nice that we can do all of these all at once? So I'm getting those back in stock, and since it took so long, they had like I ordered 12 pairs, and since it took so long, they had 10 other pairs in stock, and I just bought them all because I was like, it's been so stressful not having those. They're like my go-tos. So they're the exact same as this, except they're going to be 6-inch. So they're bigger and beefier. So if you're going through more fabric, and quite honestly, that was my first pair of applique scissors. So it's kind of like your first kid. You have special love for those. I have special love for those scissors. So after we finish this class, I'm going to be doing that serger class with this pillow to put in the zipper and make the piping. All right, next step. It says place corner fabric right side down with long edge centered on the line. These are your corner fabrics, the little white houndstooth check. There's a wrong and a right side. Make sure you look at it carefully. Right side, you'll see the pattern better than you will the other side. You're going to put it right side down. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for all 6 pieces, and we're doing the right corner, center it to the line, and then your machine's going to sew your 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's beautiful here today. I like it when we get eased into summer. I find in Reno, it'll just be like cool, and then all of a sudden it's hot, hot, hot. Like we barely have a spring. So I'm hoping we have a really nice spring here. So I'm laying these all down. I'm centering them to that stitch line. I'm checking my fabric just to make sure I'm putting it right side down. What happens if you put it right side up? Well, nobody's going to notice. I would just live with it. Okay, now it's going to do your 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can kind of hold it down if you want, just to make sure the fabric doesn't move. Checking your comments. You know what I love about kits? It's just easy. Because, I don't know, I don't want to say waste so much time, but I'm so picky that I'll spend so much time because I want it to look so perfect that I love kits. I love kits because it's all done and I can just grab it and go. It's just the easy thing to do. Our store in Portland had 12 pairs on Friday when we were there. Oh, good. I'm glad you got a pair. We've all been waiting for them. I don't know. They sold out. But they're the best. You'll love them. I'll put them back up on the site. You got to remind me. If I forget in the live feed tomorrow, remind me that I said I put them back up on the site. Okay. Now your choice is fold it back. You could use the folding pen. You can use, for me, it's going to be spray. You can take it out of the hoop and you can iron it. But what we're going to do now is we are going to flip that back. And we're just going to stitch it. We're going to do the next stitch line, which is going to be down here. But I'm going to give all of these a little shot of spray. If you are an inexperienced sprayer and you feel like your spray is going to go everywhere, please do not spray in the hoop. I like shield it with my hand. You know, I've also seen people have like pieces of cardboard where they'll cut like a hole in it. And that way you don't get spray everywhere. But if you look at my hoops are clean. Like I might have a little spray on there, but I mean, these are my original hoops that I've had forever. And for the most part, they're super clean. Did you hear how little's coming out? It is my superpower. Losing stuff and spraying. So I think it was a good idea spreading these all apart and not like, you know, piling them all in together. The other thing you could do is you could take it out and you could press it and then you could use a wonderful clapper that's teeny tiny. I got this from Lynn and I love these. I think she posted it on her site where you can get those. So if you love them too, they're so cute and they're so smooth. It's really weird to be so excited about. These I can't push down yet because there's nothing under there. So I'm going to leave it for right now. Let's go ahead and do the next step. It's going to stitch. Oops, forgot to put this down all the way. It's going to do the next stitch. Watch out for this. Make sure that's not going to be in the way. I think this one is next. Let's make sure this isn't in the way, which I don't think it is. So you're going to have to kind of move stuff out of the way, but it's going to be well worth it to not have to... which one's next? I didn't know which one was next, so I just paused it. Gives me some time. You know how you can get panicky? I get panicky. So I'm just going to put my thumb here. And you can watch on your screen, you have that green crosshatch. And if I just hit my stop button right now, it's still going to go to the next spot, but it's going to wait. I'm going to stop because these two have to be flipped back. Did I stop? Nope. There, one stitch. Couldn't remember. That's how short-term my memory is. Okay. A nice aggressive finger press. And then just pat it down. I don't want that to get stitched down. I'm going to get that out of the way. And then I'll put it back. All right, after we do this, we're going to trim all of these from the bottom right, and then we're going to lay down our next piece. And this is all we're going to do. Isn't this fun? I love piecing in the hoop. It's so easy. And I love that we color group, so it's going to stop for us. And let me see if I can come in from this angle. I like using these because they're a little bit beefier than my snips, and I can get through some harder stuff, like some layers. Oh, hi, Princess. Poppy's in here. It doesn't have to be perfect trim either. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to get our next 6 pieces. We're going to lay them all down, do our 1/4 inch, and then it's going to flip and fold. I think I'm going to do the other, don't get your fabric underneath. Remember, we're working with lots of different layers, but when we're all done, none of these should be like stitches on top of stitches. You could see the outline of our template. We have plenty of room in between. Okay, go ahead and lay these down. Your next grouping. Center it face down. Make sure the print is face down, centered to that trim line, which is now your placement line. And then you're going to stitch your 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're going to have to watch out for these other pieces of fabric just to make sure nothing gets stitched on. When I was doing these, I lost count. I was like, did I already cut 12? Do I need 12 more? I just cut them. Because it's so easy with the stripology ruler. Okay, let's do our 1/4 inch. Sunella, I gave Patrick your message. Patrick, I don't have boundaries. So I just do everything all the time. Patrick has very distinct boundaries. So I was like, can you call them? But if it's the weekend, he might not give you a call. But I gave him your message. And we're not going to have this done. So I am not going to be here next Monday. So we're not going to finish this next Monday. I think the next time I'm going to live feed, I'm going to try a Friday live feed like Patrick says. And try that and see if I'm like losing out on that time at the store or if it's okay. So I think I'm going to do a Friday. I've got to check the calendar because I have been scheduling some classes. And then I don't think it's going to happen for like probably 3 weeks. So don't worry. Uh-oh, did this move? Here we go. I'm going to hold it in case that pushes, which it did. I stopped. Put my foot up. You've got to be quick on the draw. I probably wouldn't be that great in a gunfight, but on a start-stop fight on my sewing machine, I think I'd do pretty well. Hello from Chattanooga. I have never been to Chattanooga. Sounds like a very exciting place to go. Okay, I'm going to pull this back again, and we're going to flip and fold this. See this? See how it's going up and over there? I know that I'm not going to need that. I'm just going to cut it. I don't have to worry about it. So see how I'm up here in my template area? I'm just going to cut that so it's out of the way. Right? Because why should I be stressed out about that? I have plenty of room. Do you hear that? That's the sound of Poppy. I'm really sorry. She took off running with something. Hang on just a sec. Oh, no. I guess Momo helped himself to something. It's okay. All right. I'm going to flip and fold this. Here's where I show you my spring superpower. And plus I have a can that's like worked in. Do you know what I mean? Like when I get a brand new can, sometimes you'll see like I will lose control a little bit. I mean, that's barely anything coming out. All right, I'm going to flip this back. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. And I'm going to watch as it stitches. And where I really want it, it's just going to go right over that part of the design. An aggressive finger fold. Get all that anger out. All that pent out aggression right there on that finger fold. I can't reach this one, so I'm not going to do that. Let me tidy up a little bit before it gets out of control over here. Let me pull this back, because if you've ever watched me stitch, at some point a piece of my fabric gets swept under my hoop and I can't find it. All right, we're going to do our next placement line, and I'm going to fold this back. This is going to come right over here. Remember, that's going to get trimmed. That's our trim placement line. I'm going to hit stop so I can make sure I can adjust anything I need to right here. I'm going to fold that out of the way. To me, it's worth it to just do them all at once. But if this makes you feel super uncomfortable, then don't worry. You don't have to do it. I'm going to hit my stop button again so I can make sure everything is out of the way. Hi. Hi, this is who's here to visit. There's Pops. Yes. I just love her. I just love her so much. Even when she's naughty, I almost love her even more. Good girl. She is just so sweet. Okay, what's next? I'm going to stop it again. I'm going to take that out and this out. Start. I'm just flipping everything back. Poppy, lay down. Yes, good girl. I'm going to hit stop again. Oh, these we didn't even flip back yet, so this is really important. Let's flip that back. Because there was no fabric under it, so I had to wait. I love the colors in this. Are we talking, Lynn? Are you talking about this? I love the colors. Okay, flip that out of the way. Flip this down. I missed some comments. Let me see. You know, our fabric kits have really evolved, and I'm super picky with them. So we've evolved in how we pack it and how we fold everything. So, and if I've ever missed anything in your pack, please contact me. I try to have like 2 people check. Suzanne always jokes that we're going to have like, we're going to have those like little stickers, or we'll put the little cards in that say, this was packed and assembled by, put our names on it or something. You know what I love? So when Poppy comes and hangs out with me, she'll lay, at my feet or something, and she'll just take her 2 front paws and she'll just put them right over my foot, just to tell me she's there and that she loves me. And I think pets are good for the soul. Okay, wait. Did I miss anything else? What else? No, Waylon. It's snowing there? I can't believe it. Jackie. So long. Welcome, Jackie. I'm just reading your comments really fast just to make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions. I told him, Sunella, I said, Patrick, can you please call Sunella? And then I also told him, to call Asuli. I was like, can you please call Asuli this weekend, please? But he doesn't always listen to me. I call him my manservant, and he's an okay manservant. He's not as obedient as I would like him to be. But he does do the laundry. And what else does he do? He cleans up after Poppy after I forget. After I leave her outside and she digs up the planter, he does it twice. And he brings me my coffee in bed. Those are the things you don't know when you get married. Like, I did not know that he was going to be so magnificent. I knew he was going to be magnificent, but I didn't know he was going to be so magnificent. I mean, I didn't even know until like a year ago that he delivers coffee in bed. Because I started drinking coffee. No, it's probably been at least 2 years now. I just started drinking coffee. But I didn't know. Okay, ready? Now we're going to lay down the next ones. Did I miss anything? Oh, yes, the bright colors. You need these scissors. Okay, these are the 4.5s. Meaning I think they're 4.5 inches. So these, and then there's also the 6 inches. Those are the ones that just came back in stock. And I think I have like eight pair that are already spoken for. And I did order, so I think I probably have an extra 10. So I'll put those up. Remind me. Okay, remember, that was your trim line. Now it's your placement line. So go ahead and lay these down. Okay, we're going to have to watch out for these. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just do 2 at a time. And I did trim the little tops off of these. I'd advise you to do the same. Don't get too crazy, but you can go ahead and trim those tops. And I'm just going to do 2 at a time so I can just make sure nothing is getting too crazy. I'm going to stop this. And I think it's going to go to this one. That's what it's been doing. Let's go ahead and lay this down. You could fold this back if you want, just to make it not... So you can kind of keep track. Oh, that's the problem. Baby number 1 wants to get in here. Door is locked. Thought I heard Momosita crying. Baby. Okay, let's make sure everything's out of the way for this. We're down. Go ahead and I'm going to hit stop again. I'm going to let it go to the next spot and then I'll hit stop. We'll fold this out of the way. We'll put this one down. It's a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so it's going to miss that piece. So my kids this weekend got their dorm assignment. So they know the dorm they're going to live in. Kai already has a roommate because he's going to be living with one of his friends from Reno that's going to Utah with him. It's becoming oh so real. My daughter's well, I have boy-girl twins. So my daughter, and I don't know if Kai said Kai likes things really clean and simple. So he says he's not putting anything on his walls, which is so Spartan. I was like, come on, like nothing. He has stuff in his walls here at the house. I'm going to stop that so I can have some time to lay this down. It's not stressful. But my daughter wants to decorate. So their birthday's on June 17th. So for her birthday, we're going to buy stuff for the dorm. I'm so excited. Do you ship your kits? We absolutely ship our kits. Oh, yeah. We ship them everywhere. Okay, here's my special power. Which one? It's going to do that one first and then this one. Aren't these so cute? Your corners are going to be perfect. They couldn't get any more perfect than this. I'm going to spray these two too. Sorry, I'm hitting my filming arm, so it might be moving a little bit. And let's do this one. And I might have to unfold it and refold it. That's fine too. I'll do the bottom ones later. Okay, next. It's going to stitch that top left corner. Oop, not threaded. You have to go through the entire thread path or else it won't thread. And part of that whole process is cutting it short enough. Mine's already short, so I'm not going to redo it. I want all of those stitches, so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go back to the beginning. That goes to the next step, that goes back. Just because I want all of those stitches. Okay, I'm going to stop it so I can make sure everything's in place down here. You know what? Everything looks good. I'm just going to let it stitch. This is going to be your trim line, which is also your cut line. I'm going to stop it up here. So I want that to be folded back. I want that out of the way and this held down. Where are we going next? A lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to fold that out of the way. Fold all of those back. I don't think that's even close. And I didn't even spray these back yet, so I'm going to hit stop. Give these a little shot of spray. If this is making you crazy because there's so much fabric, you could go up to your 8x12 and then you'll have even more room. But you're going to have plenty of space around these. They just give you a lot of fabric, so it looks like a lot's happening here. Now we're going to come over here. What is this scissor make? So they're made by Fermori. Those are Fermori scissors, and I just love them. They're like my favorite. Although I have other ones, like I've been using, I have like, so we're going to trim this now. My snips, I have 2 pairs of snips by Fermori. I have the titanium ones, which look like kind of like an oil slick. And then I have the other ones that are just, well, if you count how many I have of each one of those, like there's 2 different types because I have multiples. Because you've seen me at the store. You know how easily I lose stuff. So I have multiples of everything. And plus stuff starts to wear out too. And, you know, I do have Patrick sharpen things for me. Sharpen scissors for me. But I was using, I don't know where I got them, but I had a pair, or I have a pair of snips in my collection that are made by Havel. Is that right? Havel. And the blades are a little bit longer, and I love them. So, but most of my scissors that I have are Femore. And Femore makes their scissors for a lot of different makers. Okay, trim all of these. And pretend like there's a straight line here. So that stitch line, which doesn't extend all the way, pretend like it does. And don't be too aggressive with your cutting. You don't have to get right to that stitch line. If you cut a stitch or two off here or there, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. Be kind to yourself. We're not perfect. People like my sew-alongs because I always make mistakes. They go, oh, look, she makes mistakes just like me. Sometimes I make more. And that's a good opportunity. I always take that opportunity to go, okay, this is how you get back. This is how you fix it. So making mistakes, that's just part of it. And just know that when I do these sew-alongs, I've never done this before. I've never done this project. I'm doing it with you for the first time. That's why I make them free. Because you get what you pay for. And sometimes they're not perfect. But I always do the sew-alongs because I go, you know what? I'm going to make this project anyways. I might as well film it. We can all do it together and we can have a good time. All right, we're going to lay down our next set. Helps your carpal tunnel. Need that spray too. Yeah, you know, Lisa, I am super... Whoop. So you know how... Can you get him out of here? You know how Momo barks at you when you come to the store? He does that to us. I mean, he was looking right at Violet. And Violet is his mini mom.
That's because I have to leave early. I have to go right now.
Lay that down. Lay this. Okay, you're going to have to watch these pieces because we're going to have to flip and fold some things back. This is the last set. I'm not going to stitch out the next one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up and I'm going to put it into memory because I am going to set it up with one of the fills down at the very, very bottom. All right, 1/4 inch seam allowance. That's what we're doing now. Piecing in the hoop. Yeah, this spray is great. I love it, but there's a lot of people that don't like it, so use the things that make you happy. That's why I love it that you'll stitch with me, you'll stitch with Michelle, because Michelle likes and uses different things, so you get exposed to everything. Whoops! Fabric moved, so let me get that back up here. Just be quick on the draw. 1/4 inch, and we are almost done with these. Look at this fabricy mess. My goal is to get everyone's orders up and out before I leave. The boys will be in charge when I go. Did you see that? Uh-oh. I'm probably going to get like a... Whoops! Okay, I was lucky because it was kind of close to the edge. I think we're okay. Okay. I wasn't even paying attention to the last one. I was reading Lisa's comment saying that she has over 25 pairs of scissors. Right? Because we're always looking for the right tool that's going to make our job easier. Now it's going to do the outline stitch. And I'm going to pay attention this time. Do you see this one? This one is definitely wrong. That's right side up. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just leaving it. It's just a little corner. So if you do that, don't worry about it. No one's going to notice except for you. I don't think anyone would have noticed unless I said something. Okay. This is the stuff you have to be concerned about when we do the outline stitch, because that's going to do the outline stitch. This piece going into that one, I'm just going to trim that out of the way, and we are good to go. You want to make sure you don't trim it so much, but look how much room we have. So that one, I'm going to trim this one out of the way. Might as well, and then I'm not going to have to worry about these. I'm going to just do these as we go. So let me go ahead, slide that on. I'm going to let it do this outline stitch, and then we'll do the next one. And I'll make sure everything is folded away or back. I'm going to hit my stop. Take this, fold it back, make sure all of those are out of the way. Even if it sews through those, I'm not worried about it. That's all going to get trimmed and clipped, and I'm just going to fold these out of the way though. We'll do this one. So I'm hearing clicking that I wasn't hearing before, which makes me go, I think my needle might be bent. So I'm going to just do this outline, and then I'm going to go ahead and change my needle out. I'm going to put this in. So you've seen me use my favorite tool, which is, well, it's not my favorite, but one of them. This is my hoop tightener. This is my screwdriver for taking off my foot. It's my screwdriver for tightening up my hoop down here. And then it's my screwdriver that I'll use right here. I can kind of look in. I mean, it's way too big for this screw, but I can see it from the side. I'm going to put my foot up so I can get to it. I'm going to take out this needle. He's going to go in the trash, because something happened when he got dragged across. I'm going to put in another needle. Where did I put it? Shoot. Okay, let me grab. I'm going to go another Oregon anti-glue. I'll usually use a 7511 Oregon anti-glue needle, or the other needle I'll use is oftentimes I'll just use an 8012 Microtex needle. Make sure you have a sight window right here. And I don't know if you can see it, but the very top of my needle, I can see it up here. Make sure that needle goes all the way up. I want you to channel your inner OCD person that just like hits it up there a couple of times just to make sure it's secure. You're going to hand tighten this, and then you should always tighten it with a screwdriver a little bit more. Don't crank it, just so it's not loose enough for you to undo by hand, is what I tell people. And I had grabbed another needle and I don't see it. Okay, this one's next. That's your outline stitch. I mean, we can just, I'm just going to trim this away. And I don't have to worry about it. Fold all of that back. Hold this down here. Let's go ahead and do the outline stitch. Watch out for that because it does like to, whoop. How about we thread it? I'm going to go back to the beginning of that. And then go forward. I was just going back by ones. Here we go. Works best when it's threaded. Watch out for this, because it does want to push that back. Sounds better, right? You don't hear that clicking. I'm going to hit it. came. I'm not sure what that question was, Lisa. Came late for order. Okay, let's get this out of the way. We know where that's going to go. We know that this is going to go. Just clip it away. And this. And this. This one's going to be next. You can get rid of this. And then we'll cut these down and make them look pretty. All right, I think this one is next. Okay, last one. Let's get this out of the way. We're going to give this a little shot of spray. Fold it back. Let's go ahead and stitch it down. Okay, so there are 10 of these total. So I'm going to go ahead and we're done with those. We're just go ahead and like trim those out. We have to do 4 more of those. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say okay here. We are going to, let me get okay here. I'm going to hit return. Return is going to take me to my previous screen. I'm going to get rid of these bottom 2. So I'm just going to touch each one and then hit delete. I'm going to hit this one and then touch delete. So we have to do those 4, and we can squeeze in a filler block down here. So why don't we go ahead and add a filler block? The filler blocks are, oh my goodness, she's being so sweet right now and just sleeping. If only she'd been like that earlier. Okay, here's filler block number 1, and it's 2x4. Let's not do that one because that's just a little itty bitty. I want to take up all the space down here. So we're going to do, because this is my 6x, oh, you know what? I cannot fit a 2x6 because the 2x6 with the quilting is going to be 2x6.5. So we are going to put in that little itty bitty right here. So it's filler block number 1. What we're really looking for is the Quilting Design Celebration 7. So I'm going to go and touch add. Let's go to the pocket. My USB is right there, and here's my quilting bundle. The one we want, filler block 1, is Celebration 7. Celebration 7. And we are looking for the 2x4 horizontal. PES. I didn't pull out all the files, so they're all there. And we're looking for 2x4 horizontal. They always load horizontal and then vertical. Or usually that's what they do. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that one. We're going to hit set. It always comes in centered. Don't move it with your finger because you don't want to accidentally move the ones behind it. Let's go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees and we'll scoot it down. And we'll leave that with some room there. We'll just use the whole hooping. So we don't have to worry about that. I can't help myself. I moved them up a little bit. I'm just going to save this. So you're going to come back, save it on your machine. Now you know how to do these. And then the filler block, and I'll film that later on. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, you need memory. So I'm going to just hit memory. It's asking me, where do I want to put it in memory? I just want to leave it on my machine, but you could put it on your USB if you want, or SD card, or send it wirelessly. I'm just saving it to my machine, and we're done. So we are done with these. We'll trim these out later. This is a suggestion, that line. You're going to press it first, and then you're going to use the line as a suggestion as to where to trim. That fabric could pull in a little bit or extend a little bit, so you just want to make sure you don't just cut directly on the line. You cut to your ruler that you fussy cut on top of that line. Okay, next one. And we'll just go ahead and take this and put this away before I lose it. Wasn't that fun? That took us an hour and 8 minutes. But I'm going to take these and we're going to put them back in here. And we'll come back to this. Once we sew it together, we're going to come back and we're going to do the quilting. So I'm just going to put this back into my 9-patch bag with my batting. And let's look at what's next. Next, we're going to do fun embroidery. Let's just go ahead and we're going to do the cake. So the cake is 6 by 6, which means we need to go into our 8-inch hoop because it's going to be, or you know what we can do? We can go into our 7 by 12. Lynn, you're going to have your 7 by 12. That's all packed up and ready to go. I think Patrick was grabbing it from the store because we got it packed up on Saturday. So he's going to grab it and take it to UPS. This arm pops up. Oh my baby. Okay. Navigate the baby so I don't step on her. Okay, let's look for cake. Where are you, cake? Oh my goodness. The cake is so cute with the new little polka dot fabric. That's also going to be in, that was in the, I think the Christmas kit. And I'm going to go 8 by 12. Where's my 8 by 12? Actually, a lot of these are 6-inch. It would make probably the most sense to do it in my 7 by 12 because I'd save, you know, a little bit of muslin. Do I have where are my muslin pieces? Here they are. You know what? I should probably cut for that. I was going to say, no, don't worry about it. But I have a 7 by 12. Let me grab it. I want you to know before you see my 7 by 12 that I got this from the store. Somebody came in with somebody's trade-in and I was like, oh, I don't have a 7 by 12. I'll take it. So it's a little bit dirtier than my hoops. But I did not put the measurements in my spreadsheet. But if you're doing a 7 by 12, I would say you just cut it 11 inches. Cut your muslin 11 inches. And if you don't know this by now, I use muslin when I'm doing quilted blocks. And I use it in place of the no-show mesh. And people always ask why. So I always answer one time in my sew-alongs. I do it because I like the way it feels. It's softer. It's more pliable. To me, no-show mesh is a little bit... Oh, I could go 10 inches. Looks like 10 inches would be totally fine. Should I do that? 10 inches. I do... That's so funny. Because I do... is this my 7 by 12? It is. I do 10.5 inches for my 6-inch hoop. I'm going to grab this. Is this wider? That is so funny. It's actually a little bit wider. So this is my 6 by 10. And this is, and what we're looking at, like size-wise, they're almost like the same. Because, do you see how much wasted space there is on this? Because it's kind of like an egg. But your embroidery field's going to be bigger on, obviously. It's going to be like 7 inches instead of the 6 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it the same as I would cut it for that, which is going to be 10.5. And I think I have a bunch of 10.5 here already cut. That is 9 for my 5-inch. Let's see. This looks big. I have all these strips of all different sizes. What's this? That is random because that's not a size I even really... What is this? Here we go. We're going to use this. 10.5. We're not going to cut this. God. Poppy's so cute. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Do you ship to this? Not sure what project. This project is Shout Hooray. It was so much easier than sewing separately. Isn't that easier than doing each one of those little blocks separately? Just put them all in, color group. This is on my list of things to do. When I retire and I have all the time in the world, I'm going to do things like clean my hoops, change my cardboard. Now I'm always just in a frenzy. Like, gotta get this done. We're going to pull in gently. This is 10.5 inches. You could easily go 10 for your 7, which I did not realize that it was like the same size as, like width-wise, as my 6-inch hoop. How do you feel about a Brother Stellaire? Looking to purchase a new machine. I absolutely love the Brother Stellaire. I mean, you know, I'm biased because we're a Baby Lock Brother dealer. So I love them. But I really feel like, you know, I know you love your other brands. I feel like Brother and Baby Lock have it going on. And you know your Brother machine or your Baby Lock machine for the high-end embroidery machines, those are Brother machines. So they're one and the same. Let's turn to our next page. I just feel like they're reliable. They're user-friendly. They are just the best. And, uh-oh. Sorry, dogs are going to be barking. Somebody's here. Sorry. This is what you get when you come to our house. Let me shut my door. Hang on. There we go. That is the battle cry. The doorbell's the battle cry. Okay, and then my dogs return the battle cry. Okay, we are going to be doing the cake. Wait, the design is 5x7? Design is 5x7. We're going to... Sorry. Hang on. Let me put it in, and then I can figure out. I don't know why. You know what I was looking at? The final cut size. I just wasted your time. Sorry about that. This is what happens when I'm talking. Let's load the design first, and then we'll know. But I'm pretty sure we are going back to the 5x7, and I was looking at the 6x8 as the final cut size. Okay, let's go in here, and then we can talk about the Stellaire. And if you're looking for a Stellaire, wait until May 1st, and call us. All right. We're looking at cake. So our quilting design for cake is going to be Celebration 7. Shout Hooray Quilting Bundle, Celebration 7. I know PES is right there. That's why I just touch it automatically. And we are going to be putting in 6x6 horizontal. Oh yeah, no, we need this size. To fit in our quilting design. 6x6. Oh, these are streamers. I didn't realize what these were. 6x6 horizontal. The first one's going to be horizontal. Do you see it? I have this one. This is horizontal. That's vertical. We'll go ahead and set it. Let's choose our hoop size. This is the thing too. With this hoop, it does not recognize 7x12. Let me go here to my settings. There is no 7x12, but there is a 7x14. That was the sashing hoop that people got with Solaris and Luminaire Upgrade 2. I'm going to put that in there just so it can give me like left and right, edge to edge, although it's going to extend too far up. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Say okay. I do not have that extra inch on the top and the bottom, but I do know where I can go left and right. So I'm just going to put it in there. Actually, you know what's going to be better because I'm not going to be moving it left and right? I'm going to put the 8x12, even though I'm using a 7x12. So now I know how much room I have to go all the way up. So let's go 8x12. It's a fluid process with me sometimes as I do this and I'm experimenting. Okay, so we're going to put that one in and, center it. We're going to add the design on top of it first. Let's add cake. Shout Hooray, PES Designs. These are my blocks, and we are looking for the cake. Go ahead and set that. Now we're going to leave it because everything right here should be centered. That's in your book too. I just pull all the information and I put it on one sheet. All right. We could do a filler block with this if we wanted. So I'm just going to go ahead but we'll do it separately. I'm going to hit embroidery. It's going to take me to the next page. It combined both of those designs, so now I can move it. That's why I'm moving it in this page instead. And I could have combined it on the other page, and that goes all the way up to the top. It's not going to go outside of my embroidery field, including the hoop that I have on here right now. If I moved it left and right as well, it wouldn't move out of my embroidery field with the hoop on and the little latch pulled down. The little latch is pulled down. Was there anything we needed to do? I don't think so. For the cake, you were to iron fusible woven to all the fabrics. That was your pre-class prep, although you didn't get this until this morning. So you might not have known unless you read everything really carefully. That's another thing with these. They're free sew-alongs, so sometimes you get your stuff the day of. All right. Let's go ahead and look at our instruction book. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do our quilting. So the first step is placement stitch for your batting. I'm going to grab my batting piece and my background piece, and I'm going to spray them both. Your batting should be 6x6. Your backing should have shape flex fusible woven on the back. Where do you find all that information? It's all in your instruction book. Kind of gives you like a little bit of a setup. So I'm going to put my batting. Remember, batting has a wrong and a right side. You want to spray the wrong side, which is the nubbier side, and your background fabric as well. We're going to lay them down all at once. We skip steps. So in our sew-alongs, we skip what I call the unnecessary steps, and that saves us time. And who doesn't want to save time? Especially when you have the next Kimberbell project ready to start. So I'm going to lay this down right inside the line. And then I'm going to make sure there's no threads on here. I'm going to take my background fabric and I'm going to just center it to this and I'm going to lay it down. It does not have to be perfect. You want about 1 inch all the way around. You can kind of feel it. I have more up on top, but that's okay. It's all going to get trimmed. All right, let's talk about your steps. We're going to go down to this button, which is where we can fast forward and go back steps. This next step is the tack down for your batting, and then you're supposed to trim. We've already cut ours to size. This next step is the placement for your background fabric. We already laid ours down, so we don't need that. And this step right here is going to be your tack down. We are going to do that step. So do your tack down. And then we're going to do our stitching. So all of the quilting stitches, well, not all of them, our filler blocks are different colors. But the quilting stitches, and it tells you right here, if you're doing block by block quilting, the little box here shows you that they want you to use white. However, you can use whatever color you want. I'm going to use white so it doesn't detract from the embroidery itself. The first thing I did this morning was I was actually stitching some of my Life is Better in Full Bloom. I'm taking out my my light gray thread because when I stitched originally, the reason you haven't gotten the video for that is because I was refilming. And because the last thing I want to do is like lead you astray, which sometimes I do. That's why I count on you to be like, hey, stop. Sometimes people text me in the middle of the sew-alongs. Okay, I'm going to thread my needle. And now we're going to do the quilting stitch. Confirm that that's where you're at on your screen, that you see that so you know that you're doing the right thing. That's how I catch myself. I'll look over in that little box and be like, wait a minute, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I love the Stellaire. I love all the baby locks. I mean, I've had them all. I started out with the tiniest embroidery machine. I want to say at the time I spent maybe less than $500 for it. And then I slowly worked my way up from there. And I love the Stellaire. I love the size. I love the quality of the stitch. I love the ease of use. It was, what they came out with to replace the Destiny and the Dream machine. I love that you have IQ Designer. I love just everything about it. The only thing I wish it had that would make it the perfect machine would be a camera, like a built-in camera. But it does have the app, and the app is amazing. It's just one more step. But if you're like me, you're lazy, and you just want to hit that one button. Look how cute this is. After we do this, we are going to start doing the applique, and the first piece that we're going to lay down, it says load the embroidery file, which we already have in there, and we're going to stitch the top tier. The top tier is going to be that pink, and so this is the thread color I think we're going to be using. It is called Hot Pink. I'm going to go ahead and just spray the back of my fabrics. So these are the fabrics that we're going to be laying down. I'm going to put them in my spray tin and give them a little shot of spray to the back. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Should I have used a color? This one actually might have been really cute with variegated, or I'm starting to rethink that I should have used a color, but I've already done my white. So if you haven't done it yet, you could have streamers in a color that you could see behind the cake, and it'll be adorable. You know what happens whenever I decide I'm going to use color? I pick the wrong color and it's ugly, and then I end up ripping it out. But that would have been cute back there, don't you think? Whoop! It would have been, it could have been so beautiful. There's another thing you're going to get if you do sew alongs with me. You're going to get original songs that just come out of my brain and out of my mouth because I have the music in me. And I'm kind of like Taylor Swift, but not as good. It's really just spoken word put to music. And it's really bad, actually, but thank you for putting up with me. Okay, I'm going to lay this down next. Placement stitch. This is what's so wonderful about applique. It's like coloring with fabric. It gives you a placement stitch. You lay it down. It's going to do the tack down. We're going to trim it. So I know you're seeing orange here, but turquoise is placement. Orange is tack down. So don't put your orange thread in if you're new. It's just telling you that that's the applique and we're doing the tack down. Then we're going to trim, and it says trim the fabric close to the stitch line. I'm going to be using my double curved scissors. I find that if you hold your fabric up at like a 90-degree angle, you get a really, really close stitch. Or, I'm sorry, a close trim. And this is directional fabric, so try to lay it down nice and perpendicular. Now you're going to stitch the top tier satin outline, and it looks like it's just going to be on the right and left side. Go ahead and stitch that. We've got 21 minutes of stitching all together. We have 22 steps. I'm excited because I grabbed all my thread to start stitching out Everett's Cottage, which is the newest OESD tiling seam. And I'm going to get that fired up. I was just looking at my fabrics to figure out what I was going to use as my cream. Hi, Miss Annetta. Hello, Miss Cheryl. Okay, let's turn the page. Next page. Wants you to put in white. You're going to stitch the frosting placement line, and that's going to be your white glitter. I have tons of glitter scraps. So I mean, I don't even know if I needed to buy this embellishment kit. I got to look at it and see if there was anything special. Of course I bought it, and I opened it, so nothing I can do about it now. But I should have looked at what was in there, because I was looking at it this morning going, I think I have most of this stuff. I like to use what's in my stash first. So this is our placement line. Oh my goodness. This is getting heavy too. But here is all my leftovers. And if you do Kimberbell projects, you're going to have lots of leftovers. I'm going to use this. There's my placement line. Let's go ahead and lay this down. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray to the back. Now lay it down right here. Before I lay it down, I want to know if we're going to trim as desired or trim to the stitch. And it says trim as desired, which means I'm going to trim it so there's about an eighth of an inch extra on the outside of it. So that means I don't want it to be right next to that. I want a little bit of room. And then the scissors I'm going to use. Scissors I'm going to use are going to be my angled straight. So you have an angle. Listen to my broken English now. My broken English.
You want me,
Patrick! Oh my God! We're live feeding!
I know you are.
Oh my goodness!
You're the one making the joke.
Well, not my broken, just, God, Patrick was just about to do something that was going to get us canceled. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and...
I was not.
Okay, let me trim. And see how I'm leaving a little bit of like an eighth of an inch, a little more than a 16th. Momo's like, I want to say hi to Daddy. The reason you want, if you're not trimming right to the stitch, the curve is going to let you get right to the stitch. The straight is going to let you do a straight line, or it's going to let you make the line whatever you want it to be. If you use these, it's going to make little smile cuts. That's why I don't use those when it says trim as desired, and I want to have a little bit of an edge. The other thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn on my iron because we're going to press this down. So turn on your iron. Mine is right next to my machine. Should we do another special on the Panasonic 360? That's like the best iron ever. That's what I use most of the time. Momo's saying, I want to be with my mommy. Oh my goodness. Was I heavy breathing just then? I think at this point, I'm just heavy breathing all the time. I don't feel like a princess anymore. I'm feeling more like an ogre. I had this pair of scissors came in my Femore scissor set. And I was so hooked on my double curved that I never used them. And then I can't remember what happened. Maybe I couldn't find my double curved and I pulled these out. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I've needed to take my embroidery to the next level. Because I've been suffering through little smile, through the little smile cuts when I wanted to like leave a little bit of an edge. Oh, before we slide it back on, does it want us to press it? Yeah, let's go ahead and press it now. So let me move this out of the way. All my scissors. Just move it. Move it. And now I have a nice big piece of glitter that I can just add to the stash. I'm just getting my mat. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and put this right here. Let me grab my hoop off. You can use a Teflon sheet if you want. You should. Or a lot of times when I'm just using, I'm using muslin, I just flip it over and it's my press cloth. Isn't that convenient? You don't even have to look for the Teflon sheet. And I think you're supposed to do like 17 to 20 seconds, something like that. Oh my goodness. Is that so cute? Doesn't that make you happy? Doesn't that make you want to celebrate something? Shout hooray for somebody's birthday or your anniversary, like my anniversary yesterday. Patrick, I can't remember what Patrick said. But after he said it, he turned to my kids and he's like, see, she didn't remember. Oh my goodness. Okay, stitch the middle tear placement line. Color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave the white in. And guess what? I didn't remember. I'm so bad about things like that. We're going to lay down the second tier. The second tier is the yellow. Don't worry. My machine's not broken. I just have my book next to my embroidery arm and it was tapping it. I know your mama ears were all freaking out. You're like, something doesn't sound right. Oh my God. Okay, lay it down. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. So cute. Hi, Miss Terry. Do you never, you know what? Should I do the Monday sew-alongs in the afternoon? Maybe I should just do that. And that way, I'm not, because, you know, I've been struggling because I've been dealing with the dogs. And they just, like, they're so demanding. They want to be in the room with me. They want to, so this morning, one of the things, like, I said, okay, I'm going to bring them in the room. And I'll just leave, because I have a sliding glass door that goes to the backyard. And I was like, oh, I'll just leave it open. They can come in and out. Well, Poppy was coming in and grabbing stuff and then running out. Because, you know, the sewing room, for the most part, in my sewing room, is not puppy-proofed. So she grabbed, like, Aunt Pam's sponge, took it outside. I had to trade her a treat for that. What else did they grab? I don't know. They were ripping up my batting bag. They were just horrible. It was so stressful this morning. I was like, how am I going to do a sew-along? That's why I pushed it. Okay, we just trimmed that. That's the middle tier. Stitch the bottom tier placement line. Just slide this on. I still have white. I know it's hard for you to see, but it's there. And I'm going to grab my last piece of fabric. We're going to put that down. Is afternoon better? We'll just do afternoon then. I can get some work done in the morning. Although Patrick wants me to do them on Fridays. But now I go, oh, let's do Mondays and Fridays. We'll do Monday afternoons and Fridays. There's a lot to get done. Feeling like we have a lot to do. Okay, we're stitching. That was the placement line. This is the tack down. Then we're going to trim our fabric close. And then we're going to do some satin stitching. Asuli, Patrick knows he's supposed to call you. All right. Let's go ahead and trim. Are you, for those of you not doing this project, are you kind of wishing you were doing it? Because look how cute this cake is on the polka dot fabric. And I am regretting my decision to not do my streamers. I'm going to look at my fabric more carefully the next time. Because I think it would have been so cute if I had done like a light pink streamer. Wouldn't that have been so cute? Regret. I'm feeling regret right now. Okay. Buttercup. Let's go ahead and put in your buttercup. That's the other thing. Thread sets are so nice because you don't have to think. Sometimes I was looking for my camera. Sometimes thinking just makes my head hurt. And not thinking makes me happy. Okay, it's going to stitch the sides on the yellow cake. And then we're going to use, this is the next color. This is, I've never used this before. This is new to my collection. It's called Sprout. And it looks almost like Tidewater to me. But I think it's a little more green. It's a little more teal. I'm going to clean while we're doing this. I'm so excited to watch Violet compete tonight. Well, her dress rehearsal. It's like, it's one of those things where you get like so excited and you feel so proud. You almost cry. Lynn, aqua streamers. You're right. So if you haven't, if you're stitching this later on, sorry, it's cutting out between my phone for some reason. If you are doing this later, I'd recommend you do those streamers and do a different color. It'd be so cute. The white, that was a mistake. I should have done something. Do something. Pick a color. Okay, I'm putting in my Sprout color right now. I had somebody order all, so there's 370 colors of Glide right now. And so if you decided you wanted all the colors, reach out to me and I'll do a crazy deal. She was like, I don't want to think about it. I just want to have all the colors. I was like, okay. This is stitching the bottom tier satin outline. And if you look at your steps right here, it is doing step 11 and it shows you the number right here and it shows you a picture. I love Kimberbell instructions. You can really figure out how to do embroidery without any help if you just follow the instructions right here. What you get from me is just some hints and tips and tricks on maybe different products that you can use that'll make your embroidery more fun, I guess. After we do this, we're going to stitch the cake tray placement line. So we're going to be working down here. And you are going to need your leather. So you're going to need your silver leather. I'm going to grab some. My goodness, look at all these big chunky pieces I have. Maybe one will be a perfect fit. Look at that yellow. Doesn't that look so pretty? Buttercup. Don't confuse it with buttermilk. That's going to be the one that's a little more mustardy. Oh my god. Multicolored streamers would have been the best. I'm going to look at my thread. It's sticking to me. Okay. How gorgeous would these have been? Why am I torturing myself? I like to, when I'm going to use like a variegated thread, I like to take it and like throw it down and go, oh my goodness. Look how perfect and gorgeous she would have been. This one would have looked amazing. Okay, I need, you know what I need? I need some, what are those things that go on the top that wraps around? Because these are making a huge mess in my stuff right now. This is Mirage thread. I love Mirage. It is a wonderful product. They have such great specialty threads in all their threads. Look at that. Would that have been gorgeous? And this is a 30 weight thread, so it's a little bit thicker. I wouldn't recommend it for like regular, like all over embroidery, because it could be a little bit much because it's heavier. And then look at these. I mean, I had so many different things I could have used. And instead I did boring white. What's wrong with me? You need a better instructor. You should complain to Patrick. Tell Patrick that I should be fired. I'll just sew all day. Okay, next step. Next step is going to be the placement line for the cake tray. Color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave the color that I have in there right now. Can you iron 2 colors of glitter vinyl together? 2 colors. Yeah, I guess you could. You could like iron one to the other. Why not? That sounds like a great idea, Cheryl. Do you want like multicolored frosting on the top? Let's see if either of my pieces will work. This one is perfect. So again, I'm going to look at my instructions and I'm going to see, it says trim the leather close to the stitch line. So it's going to be satin stitch, not, you know, with, when it says trim as desired, usually that means that there's not going to be a satin stitch. I'm going to give this a shot of spray. Don't be surprised when you spray, and you're not going to see it because I don't feel like moving my camera over here. When you spray leather, the spray sometimes it sweats to the front. Do you see that? Like you can see it here. Don't worry about that. That'll disappear. And I'm just going to go a little bit above that line. I'm going to go close to this edge because we're going to trim it close. And I'm going to hold it too. So now we're going to do our tack down. And again, it says that the color doesn't make a difference, but I'm going to go ahead and trim it now. And I'm going to put in, I'm guessing that the color they show right now is the light gray. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. Might as well. You're making a silver and gold Band-Aid? Wow. That sounds fancy, Miss Cheryl. Yeah, I think there's no reason why you couldn't press them. You're going to have to send me a picture of this fancy silver and gold Band-Aid. Is this for trouble? She deserves a silver and gold Band-Aid. All right, I'm going to hold this and I'm going to go ahead and stitch too. We're going to trim this close to the stitch line. Yeah, but if you had a better instructor, maybe your better instructor would have advised you to do prettier streamers. You wouldn't have boring streamers like me. Hopefully you're stitching later. And you're going to have to send me a picture so I can be like, oh, look, yours looks so much better than mine. I'm leaving these threads out because now I have some variegated options right at my fingertips. That top, I don't even think I really have to trim it because that satin stitch looks really, really wide. So, but let's go ahead and trim around this. This is a good time for snips. I'm going to grab my snips. And I told you I have these, and I didn't even know that I had them, and I didn't use them. But these are going to be, the tips are a little bit longer than my, and I ordered some more to have in the store. The tips are a little bit longer than my, my femoris. And I like that. So I'm going to go around this. What I love about snips is you can one-hand it, you know? You're just going to, you're just pinching together. And you can get really close. But I don't think snips are really that strong. So it's going to work best on something like this. Or maybe if you're doing one piece of cotton. I don't even use it when my cotton is is stabilized with Shape Flex because I just don't feel like it's strong enough. I find it's really easy too for me to go back and forth, and you'll see me swap my scissors between my left and my right hand. I find it's really easy. It'd be good for you if you ever want to practice to do it with your snips. And I think it's easy for me to, go back between both because I am a dominant right-hander, but I have always cut with my left hand. So maybe I find it easy to cut because my right hand is, what I usually use for everything. I wouldn't feel comfortable like cutting intricate stuff with my right hand, but stuff like this, where I'm just following along and I'm just pinching, I can do it. Oh my goodness. Is this like so cute? I can't look at my quilting. It's making me sad. Boring. My quilting's boring. I want it to be exciting and gorgeous. Yellow would be cute. I mean, did anyone else do their quilting? Like, did you make it exciting? I'll have to change it on my list too. What's that? It's a thread. I was like, did I scratch it? So aggressive. All right. Does that look adorable? And then if you didn't get something like right here, I can tell I didn't get close enough. You can come back in with your snips and get even a little bit closer. All right, I'm going to slide this back on. And next step says 14. We're in step 14. Stitch the cake tray, satin outline, and detail. So just go ahead and hit start. Let me see if anyone has any questions. Oh, a heart pillow. Oh, so cute. That's what I like to do, Lynn. I like to focus on the negative things in my embroidery. Isn't that horrible? I don't know why I don't focus on the things I love. I focus on what could have been. It's the worst, right? You know when you like show somebody your project and the first thing you do is you point out like what you did wrong? Why do we do that? What's wrong with us? Okay, after this, we're going to put the buttercup back in. Then we're going to do the hot pink. Then we are going to do the, I love this. This is the bright green. We're going to put in the bright green. Do you? Absolutely, Pam. We will ship you whatever you want to Oregon. Well, it depends on what you want. As long as it's something that we can ship, we will send it to you. This is going to be 6 minutes of stitching. While it's stitching this out, I feel like I should do something like tidy up my room. Let me tidy up a little bit. And let's talk about what we're going to stitch after this one. Next thing in the list is going to be... let me grab my... I was thinking we should do confetti you can do on your own. That one's like easy. There's nothing to it. Let's go ahead and maybe we'll do the pennant banner Next, because that's going to have some Mylar in it, so if you've never used Mylar before, we'll go ahead and do that one. And then I think we should do the pinwheels, because the pinwheels, I was looking at it. I don't know, has anyone stitched those? Because I was trying to figure out a way if it would be possible to do those both in the hoop. And I'm definitely going to do the sentiment holder later, because you have to do, there's just different things that you have to do. And I think you're going to be working sewing instructions with your sewing machine too, so I will do that one later. This might be a finish up and made project, since I'm going to be gone for 5 days. So this happens, it happens like this. And I was thinking, is there any way we could abut them? But then you're going to have the fabric here hanging over that one. So we really do have to stitch these two out separately, sew them together, and then we'll do our quilting. So we could do the pinwheels next. You want to do the pinwheels next? Let's do these. Let's do the pennants, and then we'll do the pinwheels. I love these. The balloons. How cute are the balloons? The stars. Oh my god, the stars. Those are just the cutest. You can do It's Your Day on your own. That one's easy. It's just embroidery. But maybe we should do the balloons too, because you have the iron on vinyl. Okay, we'll see what we can get through. Questions? Before you unhoop, could you do quilting in a color and blank out around the... I could. So if I wanted, I could go back and I would just have to watch as it was going and then stop, cut, and then fast forward until, so it would kind of go around that. I almost feel like I thought about that. I actually thought about that. I think it might be more trouble than it's worth for me. So really, that background quilting, get it done beforehand, and I can't wait to see what else you do if you're doing this later on. Oh my goodness, how cute. I have to go to the to Violet's dress rehearsal, but when I get home, maybe I can do some more stitching, because this is one of those. This is a really, really cute pillow. I'm kind of falling in love with it. Or should I finish one of the other projects? You guys are waiting for it. You know what I need to do? The oh so delightful borders, and the borders too. That's what gets me. I need Patrick to be a border maker. That way he can do all the borders and I can do all the fun blocks. Next color, we're gonna put in the buttercup. So get your buttercup ready. Okay, I like to show this too. I don't pull back on my thread. I've had some people who are worried because they think I pull back on my thread. Oh, you know what? It's doing the detail, so it's still stitching. Let's come back down here. Lynn, I'm going to forget you even asked me that. And that would be a hard no. And you know all that needs to be done are my embellishments. I think it's even stitched. I don't know if I stitched in the ditch yet. I can't remember if I did that. I can see it right now. It's laying there all folded up, layered, and ready to go. I figure I'm early because my goal will be to just get it done by this Christmas. I'm just kidding. It's fine. I know, it's one of those, somebody sent me a Facebook message and they were like, I can't find the video for the cup and chair embellishments. and I've just never answered it because they haven't been done yet. I think I did half of them, and then I think I messed up or I did something on the heart, and I just put it to the side and just started to do something else. Oh my God. All right. Don't pull back, but you can unthread and just unthread to right here. So make sure your foot is up, that the little trapdoor here isn't shut. You're going to just pull it behind here to right here, and then it just comes right out. There's no tension. And then you can just wrap that up, and you don't have to cut it. If you do it that way, you don't have to cut it from the top and pull it down at the needle, which we're all taught to do. And if you're like me, I didn't have any classes when I got my machine, and for years, I just pulled back. I never had an issue, so I was lucky. But some people, when they pull back, there's a tension. There's like a little spring, I think, in there, and it gets caught. And then you have to come see us. And that's why they say don't pull back. Okay, I'm going to hit my threading button. Exactly. I'm just going to make it a goal that I'm going to finish it before this coming Christmas. And I think I can do it. Okay, so this is going to be the little scallop detail on the bottom tier. What embroidery needle do I use, please? I am right now using one of these. I'm using an Oregon anti-glue needle. This is what we carry in the store. This is kind of our go-to. And I even use this if, like, I don't use spray adhesive. This is my embroidery needle that I like to use most. When I'm not using that needle, then I'm using a Microtext 8012. Unless I was going to be embroidering on, like, knit fabric, and then maybe I would use something that would be more for knit. An embroidery needle is special because it's slightly ballpoint, and it's meant to go between stretchy and woven fabric, just like a universal needle. And then you can also go up to, you know, they don't make, there's no such thing, or at least I've never seen it. If it exists out there, let me know. But I've never seen an 8012 embroidery needle. They just go 7511 to 9014. And I rarely use a 9014 embroidery needle. The only time I use a 9014 embroidery needle is when I'm going through something really heavy. And maybe if my 75 or my 8012 has broken, or if I was going to be embroidering on like denim or some kind of heavy fabric. But to me, I always go bigger needle, bigger hole. So I try to stick to a 7511 or 8012. So it's not bad to use a 9014. There's a time and a place for it. Does that look so cute? Oh my goodness. Love it. Okay, and then after this, you're going to put in your lime or any bright green that you have. This is step 21. We have one more step left. We have 2 more minutes of stitching. Right, I'm going to change out my thread. Let's go ahead and put the green in. And the green's going to go right on the top of the yellow polka dot fabric. This does look pretty limey, doesn't it? Slime. What am I going to do? Now I'm going to have a whole set of Isacord and a whole set of Glide. I don't even have close to the 370 colors of Glide. Just been adding as we go. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and hoop up. Let's hoop up after we do this, and we're going to skip confetti. Confetti should be really straightforward, easy peasy embroidery, and we'll go ahead and we'll do the pennant banner, which is pretty easy peasy too. I love this polka dot. The polka dot is so sweet. And it's subtle, and it's a great blender. What else are people working on? Is anyone stitching this with me? Who's stitching Shout Hooray? And if you're not stitching Shout Hooray, what are you working on today? Making by Annie's bag. Which bag are you making, Pam? I love by Annie's. You know what I love is their projects, their patterns, even if they're super complicated, they're all $9.99, which I think is really, really great. Like, that's a good price point. Oh, so delightful. Oh, so delightful. I love that. I wonder if I'll ever get to the extra projects. It's I was looking at the video from when I told you that we were postponing and that we were going to be doing the sew along, and I laugh because usually when I watch a video, their sewing room is so neat and organized, and their shelves are gorgeous. They have all their fabric, and mine just looked like I just took a pile of crap and just, which I did, and just shoved it up there, and I've just been shoving stuff on that shelf. We are done. This would look even more beautiful with beautiful streamers. That's all I could think. All right, let's rehoop. We're going to go and do pennant banner. Pennant banner, as long as it's, 6x8. Again, no, are we doing pennant? Yeah. We're going to go a hoop up in the same 7x12. Yeah, that my shelf is, I call that shelf my shelf of good intentions. And that's where I put all the things I'm working on. I should shove my cup and cherry on that shelf. Okay, let's scoot her up. We're going to scoot it up. You're going to leave one design on here once you, and you need that there just so you can keep using this one piece, and you save so much. You're saving like whatever, the 3 or 4 inches that goes in between. And it makes a difference. So even when I'm using a roll-less stabilizer, if I was using my 12-inch roll of, might have to open up my hoop a little because now I have some fabric up here. So let's go down here to the bottom of my hoop. I'm just going to open it up a little bit. Even if I was using my roll of no-show mesh, I leave it on the roll at this point. I used to assembly line. I used to cut all my stabilizer too that I was going to be using in the sizes that I need. I don't do that anymore because I find I save so much stabilizer just by leaving it. Okay, I'm going to feel around the back of the hoop, make sure everything is flush, and then usually I will hand tighten, and then I'll take my hoop tightener and tighten it just a little bit more so it doesn't pop out. Just that much. You never want to, for me, I would have been cranking it if I did any more than that. I'm going to slide this on my machine. Let's go ahead and load our quilting design, and then we are going to load our embroidery design. These are the easy peasy ones. Then we should do the pinwheel, because that one's going to be a little more, it's piecing in the hoop, so it's going to be a little more thought-provoking than this. All right. Home button will clear your screen. Any questions? Let me look. we are going to go embroidery. We are going to stitch pennant banner. So if you have the spreadsheet, pennant banner is Celebration 8 6x6. Pocket, USB, and there's my quilting bundle. And I need, which one? It's in my brain and then out of my brain. Celebration 8 right here. We are going to do the 6x6. 6x6. Ooh, did you see how it just went there? 6x6, and pennant banner says, well, I didn't write down. Uh-oh, we better check the book. Because it's horizontal, but make sure, I'll try and remember to add that. But when in doubt, if you see 2 and I didn't write it in your spreadsheet, check your book. Horizontal is the first one. Set. Let's add. Before we move it, let's add. And we're going to add the pennant banner. Right here, Shout Hooray. Blocks. And there it is. All right. What do you think? Do we go color or do we go white? Like, what's the point of the white? Right? It could have just been like some, I don't know, crosshatch or something like that. Should we go color? I mean, it's telling us to go white. Should we go subtle color? Do you think? I want to look at Gail's, because Gail's was so beautiful. Maybe the white, maybe if you had the color, it would detract from like everything else. Maybe it would just be too much. It would be too busy. I'm so boring. I'm going to go white. Let's go embroidery. It's combined on this page. Layout, move, and I'm going to scoot it up to the top. My hoop is on, so it won't allow me to go out of the embroidery field. If my hoop was not on, it would allow me to go all the way up to the very top. And color does not make a difference. Now, you know what? I promise you, I will not complain that I decided to do it white. Color doesn't make a difference for this. I have the lime in there. I'm just going to go stitch it. And I'm grabbing pennant banner. This is what you should have for pennant banner. And I'm going to grab my batting piece out, and I'm going to take out my background piece. This is it. You have your Mylar, your batting, and this is the other polka dot with the blues. Let's give those a shot of spray. You better, Jeannie, you better make your bed and lay in it. Meaning, if you're going to use white, you better not complain. My son said he thinks I have split personality because I talk to myself. And I'll like reprimand myself, and I'm like, that's just how I entertain myself. Okay, so we're going to lay that down. Remember, spray the nubby side, the wrong side. Not all the way down here. I'm going to pull that down because batting's kind of malleable, right? You're the boss. You tell your batting what to do, not the other way around. You want about an inch all the way around. Push it down. And now we're going to go and skip some steps because that's what we do. We save time because we're experienced stitchers here. Okay, that's your button. Goes forward and backwards. That's your tack down for your batting. You don't need it because you cut it to size. That is your placement for your background. You don't need it. And this is your tack down. I'm going to leave that green in there. Sometimes the green is nice because it's easier when there's a contrasting color to fussy cut it, especially when your eyes are getting older and it's harder to distinguish between the white of your thread and the white of your background fabric. And now, my final decision. Am I going to use a color that I can see? I'm worried I will forget that and I don't want to rip it out, so I'm just going to go white. You know, just looking at that pillow made me go, oh, maybe the all over white. is good. Maybe the color would make it just be too distracting, but maybe not. Somebody's going to have to do theirs with like all the background quilting in different colors, and then we can compare and contrast. I'm going to put my white thread back in. Or maybe, you know what would be good is maybe like just something subtle. Just something like pastel-y and subtle that you use in all of the background quilting. Let me thread my needle. And let's go ahead and hit start. And I'm going to look at it one more time before I start. What do you think? I'm looking at your comments. Let me stitch and I'll read. Nice, Marlene. How are the ladies doing? Are they enjoying their oh so delightful sew-along group? You know what I love, Pam? I love that, shoot. Should I have done like a light color? I can't. I'm just living with it. Okay, I like that Annie's by Annie's, when they come out with a 0.2, I think they allow you to return your pattern and get, like, exchange it for the 0.2. I think that's what they said. Candy corn. Everyone's working on so many different things. Michelle's doing candy corn quilt and full bloom. She's a doer. She's a finisher, obviously, not like some people I know. Talking about me. Oh, Marlene, are you loving that thread cabinet? I need to figure it out. Okay, so Shelly just asked, when are you doing your sewing room makeover? So this weekend was supposed to be, I think, the sewing room makeover. And it just didn't happen because I had too many other things going on. Next weekend, I'm going to be in DC with Violet, and the weekend after is their prom, and we're hosting a big party for them. So the weekend after that, I'm thinking I will be busy playing catch up. I'm thinking sometime in May, and we're just gonna pick a weekend. It's just, you know what Patrick will do? He'll come in and just box everything up and force me to do it. That's kind of how things have to happen sometimes with me. Everything's coming up roses. What is the Garden Guild? Is that like the one of the other, is that new? I think that, is that one of the old ones that they're retiring, Terry? So, because it's been so busy, our next event for Kimberbell is going to be Treats for My Boo. And when I'm in DC with Violet and I have downtime, I'm going to go ahead and we'll put up Treats for My Boo. I'm going to get signed up for that and for the Christmas in July one with the palm trees. So that'll get added to the calendar this week. Probably this weekend. So much more to create. Yes, I have kits in this store. The thread kits I had sold out of, but I'm getting more of those as well. So we have the fabric kits and the design and the embellishment in stock. I had a couple of each. I just need to make sure that we didn't sell out of those. But fabric kits we absolutely have at the store right now. Oh my God. Cheryl! All right, Cheryl. When I get to some satin stitching part, I love the progress bar. See, because it tells me right here when I'm stitching a lot, that's where I'm going to put up Winnie the Pooh that didn't get put up. Tells me I'm going to be stitching. I'm going to grab my computer right now, Cheryl. No, I didn't get that up. Hang on. I'll get that up. They're supposed to have... Well, so hopefully you had them do like a prep, Marlene, because it's one of those things that I don't necessarily, it's fine. It's not like I don't like it, but I love once everything is prepped, I love just grabbing my stuff and being done. Okay, these are going to be all different colors. So for your instructions, once you're done with the background quilting, we are going to stitch the pennant Mylar placement line and then the tack down. And you're going to be working in those colors for the placement and the tack down with the Mylar. So stitch the pennant Mylar placement line, place the pennant Mylar, tape in place. That's a color that doesn't make a difference. This is, I just want to make sure that I'm not leading you astray. First color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave the white. You're going to get your Mylar. I have a ton of that too. This is left over from the butterflies. I barely needed any of it. Okay. Cheryl, ask and you shall receive. That Winnie the Pooh was super cute. Next color is going to make a difference, so you want to get your buttercup. You know, I think, Lynn, that's like one of the reasons that I have it, because I feel a little bit with my cup of cheer, because I'm in the middle. I was in the middle of the embellishments, and what happened was I grabbed the wrong piece. I don't know if you remember, but with the cup of cheer, you had those pieces of black felt, and then you had the Velcro, and there was one piece where it was off-centered. Like, all of them were centered. Okay, I'm going to grab my Mylar. I don't know why I'm sliding that off. I don't need to. I'm going to put my buttercup in. I grabbed the wrong piece. I grabbed like one of the ones that was, instead of the centered, the one that had, it was like I'd call it like the bottom left. And then I think I couldn't decide, like, am I going to do that over again? Where should I start? And so I kind of threw it to the side because it requires some more planning and figuring out how to do it. That's why it hasn't happened. All right, I'm going to put this down and stitch this out. Once it starts stitching, I'm going to let go of it. Mylar is really wonderful. If it folds over on itself, it's going to be fine. So just lay that down and stitch out looking at the instructions. So we're stitching pennant 1, tack down line, and fill. And then we'll do number 3, and it should stop in between these. And while it's doing that, I'm going to be working on the Winnie the Pooh. Blue thread would be nice. I think that one's older, Terry. The Guild, and I don't know if they're still doing that. I feel like that was on the list of the ones that they retired, but I could be wrong. If you go to the Kimberbell site, they'll have a list of all the events that people are teaching. Oh man, little Poppy. All of our doors at the house at this point, we have wooden doors, and they all have her puppy paw marks from her like scraping down them. I think you just figure you're gonna have I think that's it, right? Nope. Okay, why is that all the way up there? So I'm looking right now, and here is, I know it's hard to see, here's my pennant right there, but it wants to stitch up there, which makes me go, am I knocked off calibration? Actually, pennant tack down and fill. No, the yellow one looks like he's up there. I'm just going to move this under here because I didn't hit my hoop at all, so it should be fine. I'm just going to put it right here. Let's see if that's fine. that should be okay. And then we're gonna switch our color to Sprout, and we're gonna do pennants 4 and 6. And this is kind of a good guide. That looking at this made me go, because there is a placement line for number 6, but it started stitching number 7, so I guess there's no placement lines for those. I think what it did is it did the placement lines for the outermost pennants, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's the outermost, so you know where these are going to go in between. So there's no placement line for the rest of them. What is it? I just had it like that for the dogs. Like, you can do that, a tiling scene on any machine that has a 5x7 hoop. It is pretty stitch intensive. So when we do Thomas Kincaid, and I'll film like how I prep my fabric, and I do it on my multi-needle. And that's one of the things I love about a multi-needle. Like, when I'm on my regular machine, I do think about how many stitches are on the machine. My 10 needle, I don't even care how many stitches. I just stitch whatever I stitch on there without a care in the world. Because your first service is recommended at, I mean, you have to, your machine will have an alarm at 1500 hours that says, service me now. And so you should service it anywhere in between. But I did my first service on my machine, my other 10 needle. I think I did it at, I can't remember if it was 11 million stitches or if it was 13 million stitches. But at whatever it was, whether it was 13 million or 11 million, I thought to myself, and I, trust your mama errors. I thought to myself, you know what? I need it. Like, my machine, when you just feel it wasn't as smooth and I couldn't get my thread behind my thread guide. And I was like, it's time for service. But, some people do it at 20 million stitches. Some people do it at 15 million stitches. Some people do it at 5 million stitches. But you're going to be able to just stitch away without a thought. Okay, where did I put my Mylar? Here it is. I'm going to just keep using this. And this one's going to be number 6, so you know where it is. There's a placement line. Whoop. Did I thread that? Yeah, I did. All right, here we go. But I love them. I will take my multi-needle and I'll just set it up. And I'll program it, set it. I mean, some of those, I'm sure some of those stitch outs are going to be like 40,000 stitches, an hour and a half long. And I'll set my machine before I go to this store and just let it be stitching that hour while I'm gone. Or I'll set it up before I go to bed at night. And I'll come down first thing in the morning and set it up. I also have, I think it's my stitch monitor, so I can see if a thread breaks or if I need a change, a bobbin change. It'll tell me all of that. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull this away. When I work with Mylar, I pull in towards my embroidery. And then anything that doesn't come out, I have tweezers and I can pull it away from the sides. All right, now we're going to do number 4. And number 4 is going to be up here. And I think it's starting with the very tip. And you can always look at your screen and see that little crosshair right there. So it's showing me that it's at the tip of my little pennant. So I'm going to put this right here, and that should be placed. There's so much Mylar. I haven't even started using the piece that came with the kit. This is just left over from the May butterflies. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? So, Pam, the one you're asking about is spring showers. And I have the fabric kit and the embellishment at the store. I'm sorry, not the fabric kit. Strike that from the record. I have the embroidery design and the embellishment kit and the thread kit, but I do not have the fabric kit, and they're not making that fabric kit anymore. So you would have to look online, but I'm sure you can find the fabric kit out there somewhere. That one is cute. I mean, who did spring showers and just absolutely loved it? It was so sweet with the mushrooms, and oh my god, the mushrooms were so cute, and the little boots. All right, let's pull that away, and now we're going to switch to the next color. The next color is going to be, shoot, it looks like yellow again, like buttercup, but I don't think it is. Maybe it's, oh, you know what? I bet it's peach. We're going to put the peach in. Okay, peach next. And I'm looking at the crosshair, and it's starting with the bottom part of the pennant. So this is the one that's going to be right here. Put in my thread. Lynn, maybe you and I should do like you finish up your boulevard, I finish up my cup of cheer. The bad thing about me is because I'm so busy, I'm always like, I'm the no girl. You know, my friends are like, do you want to do this? I'm like, yes, I would love to do that in 6 to 8 years when I'm not working as much. That's what I say to them now. Do you want to play pickleball? Yes, I would absolutely love to. In 6 to 8 years, when I'm not working as much, I'm going to join your pickleball team. So, Lynn, in 6 to 8 years, I'm going to contact you, and we are going to get together, and we're going to finish up those UFOs. I'm going to fly out to Indiana with a bag full of unfinished Kimberbell. No. I'm usually pretty good about finishing my Kimberbell. There's been so many projects. You know what, Pam? Let me make sure. Hang on a second. Let me get on there and see if it's available. So it's called Spring Showers. Let's see what I have on there. Cute. Okay. Pull towards, pull towards, pull towards. Like in towards your design. The next one looks like it is right here. There we go. So cute. Products. Spring Showers. Red collection. Okay, have that. You should be able to just go on to our website. It's just, what's our website? a1backandsew.net. And if you just type in spring showers, everything that we have that's available should come up. Oh my goodness. Is this so cute? Look how adorable that is. That peach one is like to die for. Okay, the next color is, it's going to be the bright green. Let's put in the bright green. Is that in the kit? Is what in the kit? What are we asking about in the kit? Super cool. Are we talking about the Mylar? Because the Mylar is in the kit. It is, well, it's in the embellishment kit. So there's a fabric kit, and then there is a embellishment kit. And it's in there. And the piece I'm using this like ratty piece that's left over from, because as you get to know me, you're going to realize I'm a hoarder and I can't throw anything away because I'm like, look, and then everything that I do, it's reinforced because I kept this ratty piece of Mylar, this like little piece of garbage. It's really just, whoops. Okay, that's okay. Because I'm just going to go ahead and take it and just do that. And it's going to stitch out beautifully. Mylar's like that. You can stitch over it and whatever. So, anyways, yes, I kept what people would consider garbage. Like, doesn't this look like a piece of garbage? And I kept it. And I go, I used it, so now I'm going to keep the next piece of garbage. I have a problem. Ooh, so much more. So I just got that pattern for somebody in our store, and it's so cute, and it reminds me of Sundance catalog has like a little purse. How hard was that? Like, did it take you forever? Yeah, Pamela, just go to A1. It's called A1backandsew.net is our website. .net. A1, the number 1, backandsew.net. Because we're sewing and a vacuum store. Okay. So you're the boss, remember? I just like bent that up and just made it go where I want it to go. I think I can fit like one more in here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Do you have the... Oh my god, you know what, Asuli? I just got the chunky bees in. So, they told us that was going to be a one-off and that once they were gone, they were gone. But they just came back in stock and I just ordered them and I have them at the store. I think I only ordered like 5 of them or something like that. But if you want those, let me see. Okay, Cheryl, still haven't even gotten to the Winnie the Pooh. I will definitely do tonight. I'm gonna go grab my notepad so I can write myself some notes of all the things I need to do. Hang on. Oh my goodness, so cute. So Asuli, I'll make sure that those are on the site because I might have taken them down when they sold out. All right, enough, although I could fit one right there. I'm going to throw this away just to prove to myself I don't have a problem. And let me grab the piece that they had sent. Now we're going to do, you want to put in your hot pink. So I was watching, if you know, one of those things that I like to watch is Hoarders. And because I go, oh, they have a problem. I don't have a problem. But then when I watch it, like everything they say, I say too. So I go, oh my God, I have a problem. But the last one I watched was this guy, and like he just like shops and shops and shops. But I do the same thing, but it's not quite as bad. Because sometimes I buy stuff and I'm like, I don't even know when I'm going to get to it. I'm just going to get it. Because I'm going to get to it Sunday. And then I just put it on the shelf knowing that I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. But it's just so cute I have to have it. So, I don't know why I'm telling you that. This is a part sew-along, part therapy for Jeannie. Okay, I'm writing in my list. Who needs something from me? I'm putting it on my list right now. Asuli. I'm going to make sure the mushrooms are on there. Mushrooms on site. Order. Okay, what else did I need to do? Cheryl. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Make sure that that's up. Those chunky, so you know, Asuli, so when they sold out of those chunky bees, I thought, okay, because sometimes I buy stuff from like Alibaba, but you know, as a retailer, I'll buy like a large quantity stuff, and I could not find those chunky bees anywhere with the quality, like the ones that Kimberbell has. They are stinking cute, like really, really cute. So they're totally worth it. Look at how I'm trying to conserve. Like, I don't have this huge piece of Mylar. I'm trying to, like, use the very corner. Okay, Lynn. 6 to 8 years. We'll be stitching. I would not start... Asuli, do I have a package going out to you? Because I could just grab those and put them to the side for you. Chunky bees. Let me see if they're on there. I better order more. And now it wants to do the actual the pennant holder, like the thing that they're all attached to. And I think the color that they're wanting us to do is caramel, which was another new color for me. So let me grab that. I'm going to just pull my Mylar out. And you know what? I could have just like laid this down and just let it stitch all of these. That's what a normal person would do. A normal person would have just put that whole piece down and not worried about it and just changed their thread. All right, and go ahead and stitch. What is this called? The cord? Let me see. This is called, oh yeah, the banner cord. Oh my goodness, is this so sweet? I love it. I love it, I love it. I feel like, Asuli, we might have filled your... I'll have to look. I'm going to put a note in here that we could add those to that, but we might have filled it. Did you get a shipping confirmation yet? Let me see. I'm going to put on here, wants to added to her closeout order. If we still have that at the store, then I'll add it to that, and I'll call you. Oh my Lynn. That's how I stitch. Hi, Violet's leaving right now. You look great. Can't wait to see you. Oh my God, Lynn, are you hoarding garbage too? I think some people would look in there and think it's garbage, but sometimes you just need like the tiniest piece. Oh, that color looks so great too. That caramel. You want to say hi? Oh, you want to say hi? There's Momo. Bye, Violet. I'll see you soon. Oh my God. You know what I love is like the detail. Like you can't see it. Oop. You can't see it in the picture, but when you look up close, like look at the stitching in all of the different pennants. Like if you pull, I'm gonna look. Like this one has like little flowers in it. And then I don't know what that one has, but this one has the little zigzags. And then they really do make this kind of look like rope. So amazing. Those designers, they're so amazing. All right. What should we do next? We're going to have time. What is it? 3:45. Let's do one more embroidery. And then we're going to have some homework. I haven't decided what your homework is, but we need some homework, right? What's going to be the hardest? Let's do the hardest one. And that way we do it together. And if this is your first embroidery, you will be less scared because I'll be holding your hand. This is so cute. I know, this is so cute. How about we do, confetti's easy, pinwheels. Should we do pinwheels? Should we do balloons? Balloons has that iron on. And I'm going to try and stitch as much as I can do before we get together the next time. But I think we should plan on getting together the Friday after I get back. I think that would be the best bet. I think I get back on Tuesday. And that should give me some time to get caught up. Let's do it. So pinwheels, that's going to be quilting. It's going to be piecing in the hoop. I'd rather do balloons because balloons looks like more fun. But let's do pinwheels. All right, let's just get it done. I always tell myself, being an adult means having to do things you don't want to do sometimes. And I don't feel like doing pinwheels, but we're going to do it. Oh, are you stuck? Are you stuck, Peanut? Okay, let's just admire what we've gotten done because it is so cute with the little glitter on the top. And look at the green, the way they did the stitching. All of this is just so sweet. And I'm kind of okay with my quilting not being a color. And if you do pick a color, I would pick something like Lynn said, like a light blue or something kind of subtle. And then maybe you use the same, just so it's not too distracting, you use the same thread for all the quilting. I think that's what I would do next time, is I would pick something subtle that would go with everything. I'm going to grab my, well, let's put it in first because I need to see what size hoop we're using. I think it says 5x7 for the pinwheels. And we are doing the quilting later. So we're just going to load the design, which is not something we've done. Well, and remember, we saved that for later. Let's go here. Shout Hooray PES. Blocks. And where's the pinwheel? Here they are. And they're made to fit right into your 5x7. Go ahead and set it. Choose your hoop size. Just a good habit. 5x7. And it pretty much fills the entire hoop. Okay, since we are not adding anything else right now like the quilting, then let's go ahead and just hoop up for our 5x7. And usually I cut my stabilizer 9 inches, or my muslin. I saw my 5x7 here. Not where it's supposed to be. I was like, I better remember that that's where I put it. Ladies. Okay, here's my 9-inch. Or you could do like your 12-inch this way. But I really like hooping like up and down. I feel like that's where you really like take advantage of leaving it on this long piece. So put it in, hand tighten. These are my steps when I embroider. Hoop, hand tighten, pull out all the bubbles, which there are none on this, or you know, make it nice and flat. Hoop tightener, and turn and tighten it until it's comfortable, but never where you're cranking it. Should never be loose enough for you to undo by hand. Gorgeous, we're ready. Okay, let's do these. Let's do it. That's what I should do. I should always just do whichever embroidery I least want to do first. And then I would just get it done, because then when you're doing the ones you really love to do, you're like, oh, this is so much fun. I can't stop. All right, let me get my fabric. Pinwheels. Filler blocks. Oh, I love filler blocks. Do you ladies like filler blocks? And gents? Michael, are you there? I got to meet Michael in person with his brother. It was so much fun. I love meeting you in person. Okay, let's look at our instructions. Pinwheel. All right, this is what we're doing next. But I thought it looked different. Oh, you know what? It does look different, and it's going to look different like this because you're going to be sewing that in. That's your 1/4 inch seam allowance. I was thinking it was just going to look like this, but that's, like I said, because we're going to be sewing that in, and then when you're done and you put it in, it's going to look like this. So, and it does say light mesh cutaway. I'm not using light mesh cutaway. First thing that we're going to do, we loaded our design. I'm going to say embroidery on my screen, stitch the piece template directly on the stabilizer. I have the caramel in there. Some say caramel. I say caramel. Look at, this is like all the little busy work you're going to be doing. All of that turquoise is placement. All of the orange is tack down. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. You're going to have a lot of little pieces. Here's all our little pieces, all organized in here in the background, batting for later on. Oh yeah, if you get stellar, we can just pop it in the box. Tell Patrick, be like, you know, Patrick, the deal closer for me would be 2 packages of mushrooms and bees. That's what you need to tell him. Don't tell him I told you to say that. Michael, you're there! You're there! There's Michael! Yeah, Michael stopped in with his brother. It was so much fun seeing you. Okay, let's go ahead and lay down our fabric. All right, first thing, let's get our fabric out. First piece of fabric, it's laid down face up. Here we go. And it is going to go right on the very top. And it tells you right here, see? There's like piece 1, piece 2, piece 3. I'm not sure what the A's are, but we're going to figure that out right now. Oh, that's going to be like the fabric color. So let's pay attention to the directions. And if I do something I'm not supposed to do, pipe up. I saw your post, Michael, that you got the those adorable clappers too. And then you said you might not be here. So I was like, oh, is he not coming because he has the clappers? Look how big this piece is. Does it really have to be that big? Okay, let's just lay it down. No complaining. I actually like doing a lighter color, so I'm probably going to change out my caramel. What size is your smaller pouch that the pieces are in? These are, I have no idea. Let me measure it. The small pouches are 9 inches by 5 inches. 9 inches by 5 inches. And, ooh, did I do this right? I think so. We are going to be cutting, let's look at this carefully because it looks like we're cutting this side. I thought it was going to be cut on the top, but we're cutting this side. Over here. Cut that off. All right. It's your first stitch out. And, but you know, Lynn, I've been on since, and now they have like, because I wish I had some like sizes in between. And now it looks like they have lots of different options, but the bags they have look mesh, but I like that they have the different options. We're going to lay down a piece of green, center it to that line. This is a really late lunch, Michael. I'm a little worried that you're eating so late. We eat late at the store all the time whenever we have an opportunity to just shove food in our face. There's your 1/4 inch. I'm going to give mine a shot of spray. But if you want it to look really gorgeous, you should iron it and then use your clapper. If you have never used a clapper, then I don't know if you'll even understand until you use one how just amazing and flat and gorgeous it will make everything look. I didn't stabilize these pieces. And I'm looking at it going, am I going to regret it? I did not put Shapeflex on the back because some of these are like super light. I'm just going to go with it. It is what it is. I'm just going to live with it because I didn't put it on there. Okay, now you're going to do your next Oh, I forgot to change my thread. I'll change my thread. I'm going to change it to the light gray next. Don't forget Asuli. That's what you say to Patrick. The deal is done if I get 2 packages of mushrooms and bees. Okay, before I forget, I'm going to change my thread out because I want a color that's going to be a little bit lighter. And then if you tell him I told you to say so, I'm going to deny it. And he'd be like, I never said that. What? I never said that. No, I'm telling you. That's when you bring out the big guns, when you're negotiating with him. Okay. I think it would be so funny if you said that to him. Mushrooms and bees will seal the deal. All right, now we're going to be putting down another piece of the polka dot. Another one of these. Here we go. That is your trim placement line. Place your fabric on that line and center it to that line too. I have no idea what the background quilting is for this. So this is pinwheels, right? So pinwheels, whatever Celebration 5 is. Whatever that is. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, pull this back. Little shot of spray. So last night I decided to make like salt and pepper chicken wings, which they're so good. And that's what I had for breakfast, and Patrick's like, I can't believe you're eating that. I was like, this is the best breakfast I've ever had in my whole life. I'd much rather have that than like a bowl of cereal. I guess I brought that up because I'm dreaming about that right now. I'm like salivating because I'm thinking about that. I might have to take a break and run upstairs and get some. Okay, we're going to trim, and we're trimming from this line down. We're getting rid of that. So Lynn says maybe it'd be too bulky with, where are we? You know what? They might be, right? So maybe we'll just live with it. Because what did we do recently where, it was Life in Full Bloom. I think it was like, was it the roses? Where if we hadn't stabilized it, it was so dark, the fabric underneath, and it showed through. And I think it wasn't Cindy. Were you the one who said we should put Shape Flex? And I was so glad you said that. And then I was so glad that I wasn't lazy and I did, because the one piece where it does show through, did not like it at all. Okay, I'm not even paying attention to the instructions. I just went on autopilot. But I think we're doing good. Okay, so right now, this was the step we just did. Step 8. Now we're going to trim. We're going to lay down a piece of white polka dot. Look there's a stitching right here, so you can't get that. So don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. I'm going to lay this down. Quarter-inch seam allowance. Spray it, fold it, or iron it, clapper it. You know the strangest thing, and I think I mentioned it before, in Life is Better in Full Bloom. I've used spray forever, and I've never had it stain a fabric. Like, it's fine on all of this until that like green from Oh So Delightful. Because I've been watching it. I've been like, do I need to be more careful? And it was that fabric only. Okay, we're going to trim this. We're trimming everything from the left over. And then we're going to be putting in the lattice. So now I watch it. Because I don't want you to ever have problems. I want your stuff to be perfect and gorgeous. Oh my God, one of those chicken wings, which just tastes so good right now. They were so crispy. I double fried them. So I fried them for like 5 minutes, and then I put them back in for another 15. And then I dumped this sauce on it, and it was like so good. So good. And it was, Patrick makes fun of me, but it was an Instagram recipe. So when I go to bed at night, I watch, sometimes I read, but sometimes does this look so gorgeous together? Sometimes I watch Instagram, and I watch recipes, and then I put them in, like I save them and I categorize them. And this is the second Instagram recipe we've done, and the other one was great too. These are small because when you're done with this, the final piece is, before you sew it, 2.5 by 6.5. Super tiny. It's a lot of work to have like little 2.5 by 6.5 itty bitty block, but oh well. You're gonna do it. You're gonna like it. How about that? I learned that from Christine Poole. That's what she says. You're going to do it and you're going to like it. I was like, ooh, I like that. I might start saying that in my classes. You're going to do it and you're going to like it. So forceful. Marlene's been using her folding pen. Yeah. Are you loving it? I think that's what, did they use that in the maybe I have a folding pen. Should I use that? Yeah, especially if you're not good with the spray, the folding pen is a great option. Am I doing this right? Oh my goodness. Hang on. Let me see. I totally went on autopilot. Yeah, I think I'm doing it right. So we just did this piece here, and then we trimmed, and now we're laying the white down and we're folding it down. Okay, we're good. Just fold it over and you're going to do it and you're going to like it. How's that? You guys like that? Is that too pushy? I just like, I like pretending that I'm powerful, that I can just say stuff like that. People do it. It's just something I do to humor myself. All right. Now we're going to trim it. We just did this right here, step 14. The stitch. Now we're going to trim everything to the right. Okay, what color fabric are we putting down next? Let's turn the page. We are laying another piece of the teal lattice face down on that line. And 1/4 inch. Hi, Margaret. I thought we were never to spray near the machine. Okay. If spraying is not your superpower, do not spray anywhere near the machine. But if it is your superpower like me, and you are good at just getting it right there. Did you see? Like right there? Then you can go ahead and do that. The other options, if you're joining us late, because we talked about it before, your other options are you can take this out and go ahead and give it a press, and then use one of those adorable clappers that Lynn turned us on to. Or Marlene's using a folding pen, so you can use a folding pen. So, and you can just give it a little dab of spray on the, you could use, Patrick's distracting me right now. You could use your folding pen, or I know some people just fold it back. They use a little piece of tape, but I do spray most of the time. I spray in my spray tent, but when I'm doing flip and fold, piecing in the hoop, I will spray in the hoop. That's because I can control my spray. If you're like, oh no, and you're spray everywhere, definitely do not spray in the hoop. It depends on your level of spraying skill and what you're comfortable with. Oh, did I trim the right thing? I just saw a line and I trimmed. Okay, I think I did. Right here. Trim, and then go all the way across. Get rid of this. Okay, so we are now in this step. We're going to put another piece of white down. Can you spray it before you... Yes. Yes, Deanna. Spray before you put it down. So I could go ahead and give it a little shot of spray. The machine... Let's do it, right? Well, you know what? My spray thing is all the way over there. But, okay. Yeah. I'm going to spray it. You're not seeing it. I'm spraying it in my spray tent. And now I'm putting it down. See? It's tacky. I'm going to put it down here. I actually did that, like, by accident in one of my other sew-alongs. I laid all my fabric down. You just want to make sure it doesn't, like, pop up. And then you don't have to spray. What a great idea, Deanna. I'm just so used to spraying in my hoop when I do flip and fold, piecing in the hoop, that I don't even think of that other thing as an option. But yes, spray in your spray tent before you even put the... I'm going to do that again. Next piece. I just put that down. The next piece is going to be one of these. Right here. So if you don't have spraying superpowers, spray it in your spray tent beforehand. Mine's sprayed. Gonna trim this. My stomach just said, chicken wing, please. Just like growled really loudly. This is sprayed. See? I'm gonna lay it down, center it to that line. Just make sure it doesn't like go where you don't want it to go. I'm just gonna put one finger here. Yeah. Yeah, Deanna. Let's do it like that. Maybe, okay, I don't know if I'll do it like that all the time because, you know, it's a habit for me to just do what I've been doing. And I think, you know what? I don't think you want to put Shape Flex because look how bulky this is right here. Imagine if everything was doubled because you had a layer of Shape Flex on it. Line across. Then we're going to put a white piece down. Deanna, you are so smart. We need more smart people on here. Just kidding. We're all so smart. Okay, gonna go across. Gonna get this off too. Doesn't have to be perfect, just to where it's easy. Next piece, I'm gonna lay down another piece of the white with the polka dot, face down, centered to that line. Let's give it a shot of spray. That is easier, right? And then you don't even have to be careful. You could take all your pieces, although I don't know if it's me imagining it, but I feel like when it just sits there, it gets less tacky. Is that a figment of my imagination? The foot doesn't really, I mean, the foot skims. If it would get thicker, if it was really thick and the batting was there, yeah, the foot would push it. But it's skimming, and that's really where you want your foot to be. You never want your foot to be too high. It causes your thread to break. And we're going to lay one more piece. I haven't even been looking at my instructions. I've just been on autopilot. We're laying down our last piece of this. The pinstripe. Hot pink pinstripe. the other thing we made yesterday to make you hungry is we made soy eggs. And they were so good. And so this morning, for my snack, when I decided to postpone, so I'm going to give this a shot of spray in my spray tent. Ooh, that was kind of heavy. When I was waiting, I went and had a soy egg. And so we did I think we did 15 of them. And my kids love them. And they're so easy. And then you can we just put them in the fridge, like they're all peeled and marinating, and you just take them and put it on like rice, and then use some of the saucy sauce. Do we have one more? Let me see. We just laid that down. Now it's going to trim. So we just did this last step. That was step number 23. And now it's going to stitch the outline tack down. Trim the fabric close to the right stitch line. We're going to trim it over here because we're going to do the next step on that side. So go ahead and stitch this. Be mindful of your foot pushing your fabric in directions you don't want it to push. This is where it might push it over. So watch for those little peaks. It was fine. When you did the flying geese on Oh So Delightful, did you put the SF-101 on polka dots? The flying geese, I think we pieced that in the hoop. So I'm pretty sure I used spray adhesive. Oh, look at that. Somebody didn't shut the door and it just blew right open. Let me go get that. Kids. I'm going to trim it, but I'm not going to trim it right to the line because sometimes this isn't quite big enough. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to trim it so there is... I'm going to shut that door so my dogs don't get out. Actually, there's Momo. Hi. Sometimes you need it just a little bit bigger. This line on any of these pieces, I always tell people it's a suggestion. It's not always perfectly on that line. And now we're going to do the other side. So I'm not sure, Marlene. I might have, I think I might have accidentally, there was one that I did, and it gets too thick. I don't like, with these in the hoop, I usually don't like putting SF-101 on them because I feel like it gets too thick. Okay, one more time. You know what's funny? That probably, I don't know how long that took us, but the actual stitch time for this is just 6 minutes for the whole thing. And I'm pretty sure it took us longer than 6 minutes. Okay, you ready to repeat? It's going to be the exact same thing. Oh my God, a soy egg is so good, Margaret. You soft boil an egg so the yolk is a little bit soft. And then once they're like that, you take it and put it in like an ice bath. And once they're totally cold, you peel them. And then you put them in, it's a marinade. And the marinade is usually like soy sauce, maybe some mirin, some sugar, some garlic, green onion. I put in Thai chili, so it's a little bit spicy, and some sesame seeds, and I'll have to make one and take a picture and send it to you, but they're so good. It's just good little, breakfast, or I don't know. You can have it for dinner, just like a good little meal. My kids love them. All right, so I'm confused because it looks like we're starting from the bottom. So let me see if the directions continue. They do. Okay, we're going to put our first piece down. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray, and I'm going to lay it down. And this is what it's covering, that little triangle in the very bottom. Just make sure you're covering that. I did not use, I don't think I used any Misty Fuse in Oh So Delightful. Okay, oh shoot. Let's look and see which way we're trimming. Yes, we are trimming up and to the right. I just went on autopilot. And then first color we're going to put down is we're working backwards. So whatever was here, we're just going to work our way up. I'm going to give it a shot of spray. Deanna, hopefully I can remember. And I do this the next time. Somebody will have to remind me. And you could spray like 2 at a time. So maybe when I get to the teal lattice, I'll spray both of my teal lattices and they'll be ready for me to lay down. No batting. The reason I'm not doing the batting is because I would have put the batting in here, but we're going to have to go to the sewing machine and sew these two together. So if I was able to do all of them and these weren't getting joined, then I would have done the batting. But we have to go to the sewing machine first. Okay, I'm going to spray these 3 all at once. So these will be in my spray tent, ready to go. Let's trim that. I'm going to see how fast I can go. You're probably ahead of me because you're not talking. You're like, wow, she talks a lot. Okay, white piece first. Center it. Oh, I didn't spray that. Okay. I'm just alternating. I know it's going to be a color, a white, a color, a white. So you fold it back. Now it's going to do your trim line. So I know it's going to be pink after this, then white polka dot. So Shelly says, do you quilt on top of those triangles when you're done? Yes. So when we're done with this, you're going to trim it. You're going to sew these two together. And then you're going to treat it kind of like a filler block. And you're going to do like placement stitch. You're going to lay down this filler block. And then you're going to do the quilting on top of it. And normally, if I can, I'll do the piecing. And then I'll do the placement. Lay down your batting, and then do all the piecing, the template on top of the batting, and do all the piecing, and then do the quilting on it. But because these are done separately and they have to get sewn together, you can't really do that. So that's why I'm just kind of going with it and just doing it as per the instructions. Gonna lay this down. It's already pre-sprayed. That way we don't have to spray in the hoop. Oh, my kids love home cooking. But I don't cook as much just because we're so busy and we get home and we're so tired. I say, because they talk about it. They'll reminisce. They go, Kai goes, Violet, remember when Mom used to cook all that good food? And I say, shut up and eat your takeout. Shut up and eat it. Eat your frozen food. So, yeah. I don't know if this is how it was with you, but my mom, like, that's how she, and I think it's like that with a lot of people. My mom, that's how she showed us she loved us, was with her food. And, okay, you're going to do white with polka dot. When I would go to college, my mom would spend days just making us marinated chicken wings and like mandu, which is like Korean pot stickers, and kimbap, and she would make us all of this food. She'd be preparing it, and then she would wrap it and freeze it, and like we would take that back with us. And I hope I can do that. Oh wait, did I already spray it? I think I forgot, so I'm gonna spray it. This project is Shout Hooray, which is Kimberbell's newest bench pillow. There is batting in other blocks that are sewn together. How is this different? So there's batting in other blocks that are sewn together. So I thought about it. I was like, well, could we have this over here, but then you'd have fabric hanging over the edge. So there are, like, if it's a piece block, are we talking about a piece block? Because if we're talking about a piece block, okay, now we're doing the lattice. Mine are already sprayed. I can just put it down, wrong side up, do the 1/4 inch seam allowance. I guess you could put the batting in, but you're going to have the batting in the seam. And there was, I don't know, is there a quilt design that fits this? Because we're going to be using the quilt design. I didn't know how to make that work, to put the batting in and do all of that. And it just seemed easier for this to just go ahead and use it like a filler block and do the quilting later. If you want to lay down the batting, I guess you would pick a design. Maybe there's a 1 inch by, I don't know, 7 inch or whatever. This would be 6 inches. Maybe there's a design like that. I think there'll probably be a 1 inch by 7 inch that you could either shrink down, like squeeze it down a little bit. It just seemed like more trouble than it was worth. And that I would just go ahead and stitch this and then add it later. But yeah, experiment with it. See if there's a design that you can, I'm going to spray that. Lay that down. I just thought about it and I was like, can we do the quilting design afterwards? And you could, but I just, you know, with this having to sew these two pieces together, I just thought it was just going to be easier to just go ahead and stitch these and then do it later. But go for it. Figure it out. See, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Oh, you should do spring showers. Spring showers. Ooh, and you know what? Like, I think part of the sew-alongs are really good because, I mean, for me, this could definitely become just a UFO. Like, unfinished or never. It could go, I have things on my shelf that are just projects that I haven't even started yet. Every once in a while, I'll see something, I'll be like, I love that so much. I don't care when it gets done. I might be 90, but I'm gonna do it. And don't get FOMO, don't get fear of missing out. There's always going to be another amazing project, especially if you're doing Kimberbell. She's going to have something else that's going to be amazing. And then you can come to our sew-alongs, because we'll do a sew-along. Hopefully I'll finish them, but we'll do a sew-along for, like, I do them for almost every project. And it's a good way to commit to yourself, commit to us, that you're going to work on it. Where was that message? Am I so far behind? Mylar in kit, spring showers. Now we're going to put white down, the white polka dot. Let me spray it. Uh-oh. Mr. Momo sees something. Margaret, we were like that too. My mom cooked everything, every single meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and going to McDonald's, that was like the biggest treat, like a Happy Meal. We'd go out to eat like once or twice a year. All the applique blocks, etc., that are done block by block, then sewn together. Well, this is one block that you're supposed to do the quilting on later. So that, I think maybe that's the difference, that these are 2-piece blocks that you're going to sew together, and then it's meant to be quilted. So it's not meant to be, they didn't make it so, ooh, that was a little close. They didn't make it so these were meant to be done and quilted. They want you to piece these, then sew them together, and then quilt them. So unlike those other blocks, which are meant to be individual blocks. Does that make sense? I don't know. Did that make sense? Okay, where are my green? When in doubt, look on the floor. That's where they are. I'm going to spray both of these now. Here we go. When these 2 pieces, do you add batting to the back and quilt? Yes, exactly, Lynn. Yeah, so when these are done, they're meant to be one block. They're not meant to, these aren't meant to be separate blocks. These 2 are meant to be trimmed, sewn together, and then that's one block. Oh, you've got candy. So, you should, and you don't have to get your kits from us. And everyone's welcome to just join us. It's always nice to support your local quilt shop. But you should, with all your projects, just make it a point to stitch them with us. And just pick the ones that you love. So you don't get overwhelmed and go, oh my goodness, when am I going to get that done? And then this is like a standing date. You know that we're going to do, so this, we're doing this right now. We're going to finish this. Then I'm going to finish all my other ones. But the next thing that we'll stitch is going to be June Cuties. That'll be the first Monday, I think, in May. And then I'm hoping, is there anything else? Can we finish? Can I use May to finish up all my projects? What else is coming out? And then we'll do the autumn. Yeah, the autumn quilt and then the cuties. Hopefully there's not going to be anything else sprinkled in there. And maybe we can maybe I can catch up. Exactly. We're treating this as a filler block. We're going to sew it together, and we're going to treat it as a filler block. We're going to just do our placement line, lay our batting down, and lay this down, and then do the all-over quilting. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Sometimes these scissors are so good, I cut too close. Okay. Just do as you're told. And like it. Just kidding. All right, here we go. I just like saying that. So much fun. Yes, I think that's what everyone was confused about. Yes, these two are meant to be sewn together to create one block. So they're not meant to be individual blocks. Otherwise, yes, we would have added. I mean, why didn't they do that, right? Otherwise, we would have added the. But they're pinwheels. You know what? I kind of wish they had us do the pinwheels just traditionally pieced, which is what they have done in the past. I really like piecing those pinwheels. They're fun. But whatever. Did you do the ice cream truck pillow? Cindy? I did do the ice cream truck pillow, and it's done. The only thing that isn't done is I didn't put the back on. Oh my God. Oh, what is wrong with me? All right. I will finish this later. You are going to trim these out. Use the line as a suggestion. Don't trim right on it. Press it. Then you're going to cut it to the measurements they tell you to cut it to. And I'll film it all. This is going to get done. Maybe I can do it tonight when I get home. See, here's what we're doing. You're going to trim. I would measure these. Let me see what they're. Press them to. Let me grab my ruler. Just taking a sip of my coffee. I like nurse my coffee in. Okay, 1.5 inches. So you're going to trim these 1.5 inches to 6.5 inches each. You're going to press and then you're going to trim. And look, it doesn't matter that my fabric here didn't go all the way down. If it's not a 1/4 inch, you're going to trim it. Oh, so wait, do we trim it right on the line? We do not trim it on the line. Using a rotary cutter and trimmer, trim the inside of each triangle strip using the outer tack down lines as a guide. On the 3 outer edges of the triangle strip, trim 1/4 inch from the outer tack down line. So we are going to trim, let's look at our picture like this. Right on the line, 1/4 inch outside the line. So we're really going to make this 1/4 inch. So you're going to be 1 3/4 inches. And then outside, this is here to here is 6.5 plus 1/2 is going to be 7. So I think it's going to be, and check your numbers before you do it. I think it's going to be 7 inches this way and 1 3/4 inches over here. Looks like we're trimming right on the inside line. See how it shows you right on the inside, and then you're leaving 1/4 inch on these 3 sides. So right on the inside line over here, and then 1/4 inch all the way around on the other 3 sides. Then you're going to sew it together. You're going to sew these together. They should give you 1/4 inch inside here. They give it to you, and then it should be perfect. And the end piece is going to look like this and should measure 2.5 by 6.5 inches. If you're worried about doing that, you can do it with me. I'll show you how I'm going to trim it all out. I will probably do all my embroideries first, and then I'll do that later on. Let me see if I missed anything. Seems like there are blocks in them. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're doing much sewing anymore, and I really, really miss that because I like a little bit of piecing. I like a little bit of piecing thrown in with my embroidery. Maybe some people don't like that at all. And should it be bigger so it tacks down? You could if you want to. If you want to make it a little bit bigger, some people do that. Remember, we're going to cut right on this inside line because it's going to be sewn together, and that'll bring us to like our points here if you do a 1/4 inch stitch. And you can make it a little bit bigger if you want. You could make it half an inch bigger all the way around on these sides and then trim it down to size. I don't know, it never really bothers me. Maybe I'll do that this time and see if I love it, because a lot of people do make their squares a little bit bigger. All right, I'm going to get out of here, get all dolled up so I can make it out and be presentable for my daughter when we go out for her event tonight. Have a great night. Thank you for joining me. Thank you also for being accommodating. I know we were supposed to get together this morning. Hopefully this time works. Maybe we'll start doing them in the afternoon, because it looks like some other people were able to join us that weren't able to join us when we do them earlier. And yeah, have a great day. Hope you get some stitching done. I'll see if I can add some homework, or should we just look at this and figure out what our homework is? Let's look. Maybe our homework will be to do, here's our filler blocks. Should we do all of this? We should make this, all of that being done, and then we'll do this in our next class. How about the filler blocks? Should we just do all of those too? Let's do that. This is your homework, because you have a week and a half, because we're not going to get together until that Friday, and I'll do that at the store. I have to look at my schedule and just make sure I didn't schedule something already. But your homework is going to be to do this first top section along with the filler blocks. Filler blocks are fun and so easy, including the sentiment holder. And then this will be easy, and we can just put it all together. And then we're going to do a class where we do everything on the serger. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It'll give you time to catch up if you haven't gotten your kit yet, or if you're just ordering your kit. Will we be notified? Linda, I don't know. I would say I would love to notify you, but I've been doing a lot of stuff at the last minute. Send me a note, Linda, because I don't know. Do I have your email? Send me a note. Something else I'm going to add to my list is I will create a group. Like I created a group for Life is Better in Full Bloom. I'll create a group for Shout Hooray. And if you need me to add you to it, you can email me. My email address is, can somebody type it in there? It's jeannie.a1sew@gmail.com. Jeannie, let me write it here. This is my email address. Jeannie, that's how you spell my name. A1sew@gmail.com. So just email me and I'll add you to the group. I'll create a group. I'm doing that right now. Shout Hooray group. If I might not get to that until I get to, maybe I'll do it like at the airport or something like that when I have some time. All right. Thanks for joining me. It was super fun. I will see you later. And I thought you were putting something in there that I need to see. I will see you with the next sew along for this. I'm hoping to do it not this coming Friday. I'll be in DC, but the Friday